The show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned.
I've actually got the perfect one, but it's really expensive because I got to import it.
You got an imported trucker hat?
This one in particular, I'll show you why. I was going to put it in the Discord.
Does it say plus ultra?
It says orc.
Of course it does.
I just realized I should probably also get a trucker hat for this game.
I don't think there's any hat more appropriate than that one, Jesse. You should probably wear it.
That right there. Yeah.
I have a Red Bull hat. That's all I got.
But anyway, hello everybody. We're live. We're live. We're finally live. So
Hey.
real quick before we really start, reason we were late is because, as you can see, we got a new player with us, and I totally forgot to set up the overlay, so I had to go in and make a brand new overlay. So there we go.
So
It's all my fault.
Sorry, Blake. Take it away. No, it's my
And
fault.
here we are. So those of you who didn't catch the segue mini episode we had last time, I won't explain anything, so you can just kind of hopefully catch up and not miss anything dramatic. But here we are. We have a new party member. I'm hoping you caught the segue episode. If not, go back, watch that, and then watch this, maybe. Long story short, there's a new friend, and you found out one of the NPCs was in fact an anomaly, which you sealed up. I won't go into specific details because it's more exciting if you watch it. But here you are. Those of you who weren't here last time are waking up with a very bad headache. A strange wave of psychic energy flowed over the whole craft, and you don't remember anything that happened when you weren't here. You just kind of wake up, you've got a headache, and there's an orc here that looks like he's obviously not an enemy since the rest of your friends aren't hostile towards him. You're in a strangely copper brass colored ship. Those of you who were here for the DNA episode, you know what the ship is. Those of you who weren't, this is new to you too. So this ship is very odd looking. If you're waking up from never having been inside the ship, you are in the sick bay. So Eisen, I think that's you. I don't know if you were here for the DNA ship episode, Helix.
I was here for the copper brass ship.
Okay, all right. You wake up kind of in your quarters from like a strange headache. And Scotty, you were here for the DNA ship episode, so you wake up in the sleeping quarters area where all the bunk beds are built into the come out of the wall per se.
I'm the one that talked to the ship the most, I think.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, and Zora, you were here for the DNA ship as well, correct?
I honestly don't think so
I don't.
because the ship seemed new.
Okay. You wake up in a medibay with Eisen. So
Well, no,
you
I
two
was-
are
Zora was with us last time.
Eisen and Zora
Right,
weren't
okay.
there. They
Right,
were
I
two that
wasn't
weren't
there.
there.
so
And-
the
No, I
ship
wasn't there.
is
Yeah.
new to you per se, but you remember it from the mini episode we did last time.
Okay.
So it's new to you still to some degree, but you get the gist of it. It's very weird. As you
Yeah,
go in and out of the rooms come to life and go away when you leave them.
I'm more
That's-
concerned with the random times the ship thinks it's a good idea to talk to me with telepathy.
As long as it doesn't start sighing every time a door opens, we'll be all right.
No. Wrong reference, although I did consider doing that somewhere else.
Yeah,
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
the
reference. It's good.
the psychic ship that talked to when 90% of the party were actually psychers themselves, and it talks.
I'm hoping it's more like
Wait, who-
Moya.
DM, who all here has psychic abilities? Everyone.
Everyone except one person raised his hand. Oh, okay, good.
I think the majority of people who didn't have psychic powers weren't here for that episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like asking who is dark vision in a regular D&D game.
Right. It was
Oof.
dark vision.
The human cries in normal vision.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
surprisingly, the other Saturday game that alternates with this one, I think only one character has dark vision.
Yeah. Only one character. The rest of us are like, boy, it's dark in here.
I go to light a torch underwater.
Is that why Jeanette's character has her obsession with lamps? Is because it's always so fucking dark.
It's probably
Maybe.
yeah.
It is Jeanette. That would make sense.
All right. So you were in the DNA ship and you were about to do your giant epic moment and land on the surface and fight this Titan craft. And
I get my
as you're-
my brown morning potion because I have a headache.
getting ready and yes, your brown morning potion, aka synthesized coffee, or soy calf as it's called in the verse. points to those of you who get the reference to that. But you find that the planet's surface is covered in a colossal sandstorm, the likes of which blanket everything in a thick layer of dust and sand, and there's electromagnetic interference from all the sand and all sorts of static lightning going on down there. And you're like, you know what? We'll wait till the storm calms down. And then you get a beacon from the ring world, which does have connection to you because they have a Q chip.
Boop, boop. I answer.
It is Overseer. Greetings. I'm glad I got a hold of you. There is a bit of a problem.
Oh, waking up to a bit of surprises. What kind of problem?
It apparently seems that some of our transportation craft that bring supplies in and out have been attacked by space pirates. The Mantis squad is busy with something else right now, so they cannot assist. However, they are out of the range of our solar fighters.
Pirates. No matter what part of the verse you go into, they always seem to cause a problem.
Also, some of the citizens wish to explore some of the other biomes of the ring world. However, I have not had time myself to know whether or not they are indeed safe for exploration. I may need some assistance with that if you can return after you deal with the pirates.
Don't you have like sensors or something?
I have sensors, yes, but my drones cannot enter some of the areas. They are radioactive, and as such, my drones would fail.
What does it help us?
You can use life suits.
I guess.
My drones are not
that's right.
programmed to fit.
Also, I don't believe we've been acquainted. My name is Dalgar. I say to the orc.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
well,
I thought you were, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were introducing yourself to
The
a
overseer,
robot.
right?
the
'cause
overseer. I'm like, you have
There was, like, no
100%
segue.
met overseer there, Scotty.
yeah.
Because I just imagine Helix's reaction the first time to like being contacted and talking with Overseer. Oh shit, a pop-up.
Yeah, that's exactly what it'll look like. Yeah.
No, like I figured like he's probably just like talking on the comms, and like Rusty's just like in the room, leaned up against the wall, like stirring a coffee, right? Like just getting ready for their morning after dealing with the scary door nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
So he's-
Dalgar sends that telepathically to Rusty.
He's got like a half an ear open, listening to the transport, or the transmission. Pirates. and then he'll look up like,
And
oh well, howdy.
Dalgar would definitely make sure that, like, when he's looking at him, he also sees him looking at him, so he knows where the hell that voice in his head just came from.
Well, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Rusty.
Are you
Thank
are you
Hi,
our
Rusty.
mechanic now?
Oh, well, I reckon I can be a mechanic. I'm kind of just, I'm a mercenary. I'm a whatever for hire. So I've got a gun, but I've also got a hammer. And they
He's
both work
certainly
real
more
good.
handy than that gnome we got rid of.
So, what was your name again?
The name's Dalgar Starseeker.
Well, pleasure, Rusty Buckboard.
He puts a hand out.
Like the paw that you get back, like envelops your arm up to the like halfway past the wrist.
Raise a single eyebrow. So, imagine a mix between episode 4 Obi-Wan Kenobi and episode 3 Obi-Wan Kenobi. So he's got like the salt and pepper, but he's not like quite like super old man levels yet.
Right.
And that's pretty much what Dalgar looks like.
Hello there.
Mm-hmm. You'll notice an Order of the Laser Knights insignia on him, but no one probably knows what that is.
Rusty is, I mean, he is a consummate grease monkey. I mean, he is a big barrel-chested orc, arms like 2 sacks of cantaloupes, a big harness with like, Leafield would be embarrassed at the amount of pouches on this thing. What looks like a big double-mounted harness on his back with a couple of collapsed mechanical apparatus. He's got what looks like a weapon wheel dial on one arm, and just like big heavy ass workers gloves, and you can see his like he's got like a jumpsuit almost, but it's layered in this weird kind of banded armor.
Hmm.
It almost has like a carbon fiber sort of vibe to it, but it's just basically like a big jumpsuit or
Is it
like coveralls. But
is it carbon fiber?
nice.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, you aren't.
Rolled a hit with an elementally charged cardboard box.
Yeah.
Helix
Big like
turns-
blazing orange like handlebar mustache coming down right,
Mhm.
and then like going into the mutton chops.
Oh my god. So Helix turns around in the pilot's chair, and as she pours like some liquor into her soy calf, and it's like, I'm Helix, I'm the pilot, and for you, how she looks, basically, so imagine like a more techie, slightly more techie version of Alien, but as a venom suit wrapped around this mid-20s woman.
Is the color scheme more like Venom, or is it something?
It's
Purple.
like it's purple, blackish.
Okay.
Hera, just send a picture of the character you based her off of.
Yeah, I'll send a picture in the Zoom chat.
Yeah, I think the one that was in the Discord chat is buried deep back in the when you first
Yeah, it's
introduced
way back.
Helix.
It's
It's
way back.
not worth surfing through the chat to find. The only NPC present after your scary door incident is Locathion currently, and I think Rusty has the box.
I feel like Rusty
Locathion
probably
had the
would.
box.
I was gonna say probably would have just put the box down in cargo, unless.
I was pretty sure that Locathion had the box.
Oh, you know what? I think Locathion has it because Rusty
Yeah, I was
did
gonna
have
say.
it. Locathion carried it out. That's right.
Locathion was the one. Rusty had it for the thing, but Rusty also didn't want to have anything to do with them.
That's right. He's like, no, I'm good.
No,
I'm not
fuck
messing
this.
with that thing.
Fuck
Yeah.
this.
That's right. That's right. No, that's right. I remember that. Okay. Locathion is holding an odd-shaped suitcase for Delgar, Helix, and Eisen.
Do you mind if I ask what's in the box?
Locathion doesn't say anything, and he just knocks on the tiny door that is on the front of this, what looks to be a suitcase that looks like a tiny hotel. On the porch of this tiny hotel, which there's a little mini porch, a collection of creatures kind of pour out that look exactly like the picture of the Whiz Mob in the book. And I will get that picture for you here in a second.
Oh, all right. It's
Those
got a very
guys.
Warframe kind of look. Love
Those
these
guys
fellows.
pour out of the front of the tiny hotel, and they all kind of look up at the Locathion, but then look forward at all the new people, and they go, "Hello," but their voices all speak in unison. So you hear like a whole bunch of hellos, but all at the exact moment.
Hello there. What is your designation, droids?
We are blue.
Blue. I am Delgar.
None of
We are-
you are blue.
They all kind of motion as if they're chuckling, but you don't hear any laughing sounds. Interesting analogy. We did not give ourselves the name.
Keep that out there. Some of us are trying to coma.
The old man's trying to sleep. What a surprise.
Get off my yard.
This isn't your yard. This isn't even your ship, old man.
Get off my space.
Well, if it's his space, we could always vent him.
He's acting pretty sus.
Eisen is most likely enjoying a soy calf as well, I would imagine, aka a morning coffee.
Next thing I know, I was doing tests in electronics, and I wake up here in the med bay. What's going on?
You shouldn't touch the red wire.
No, you shouldn't touch the red wire to the blue wire.
That actually is a good question. Now I think of it, I did wake up suddenly in a place I was not at before.
I do apologize. There was a bit of an anomaly. You hear that from everything around you, aka the ship. Eisen, this is really weird. The ship is talking to you. But you don't hear it like out loud. You kind of hear it in your head.
I assume like the anomaly when we first met you then.
Exactly.
Interesting.
I moved you into the med bays and the bunk beds respectively. Some of you looked as though you were possibly injured. I do apologize if this was inconvenient.
How hard did I hit my head? I'm hearing voices.
Oh, that's the ship.
No,
isn't it?
it's perfectly normal.
Right, where's the bar?
It just conjures one
Alcoholic.
metal bar.
Which alcoholic beverage did you wish to purchase? I'm assuming you meant alcohol.
Yes.
I can synthesize whatever you wish. There is some organic scrap present.
Yes.
That if this was evil, that would sound absurdly sinister. There is some organic scrap nearby. Converts one of our party members.
Yeah,
This sounds like Brian.
if the ship were evil, right? A console kind of lifts up out of the floor, and a bottle of liquor kind of phases into existence in front of Eisen. This is reminiscent of the dwarven equivalent of Jack Daniels.
How many liters?
It is a fifth.
I feel like a fifth of my liter of my essence just disappeared.
Well, here's to you then.
Wouldn't happen to a better soldier.
He'll Rusty like quirk one eyebrow and like a hand hold out a soy calf as if to like suggest maybe he might like a tipple.
Oh, thank you.
Pour a little in there. Are you talking about Dogger's blood?
I think it was to you and I mistaked it. In any case.
So we got pirates to fight or what? It sounded like things were getting kind of exciting over there.
Would you
Yeah.
be up to that? It could be dangerous.
I mean, I was hired for that among other things. Just let me go warm up my ship.
Wait, so that means it gets destroyed?
What?
Something needs to get destroyed?
Pirates.
Where are they?
Yeah.
At our. Did you not pay any attention at all?
I just woke up.
He says, rubbing his head.
Late to the conversation. Rusty's gonna just slap his knees, stand up, and head over to the hangar and start prepping.
I mean,
Prom.
we can just fly the ship there, and you don't need to fly your ship there too.
No, I know, but I still want to get her ready for a good whooping.
Fair enough.
The coordinates and information that Overseer sent over bring up that he suspects that there are multiple craft present that the pirates are using. You, of course, assume this is multiple fighter craft since pirates are disorganized and usually have a bunch of small, faster moving craft. So it's your choice what crafts you wish to bring. You do have, I think you called it Big Sister, is the freighter, and all of your other craft inside of Big Sister. So you're literally hauling everything.
We have a
and have it all
Matryoshka
right
doll.
here.
We have a Matryoshka doll of ships.
Right. And you also have one who travels the void, which is the ship you're currently in.
Well, we have
Which,
enough.
you know, this ship can pilot itself as well as could also just stay here and protect this part of space.
We might
either
actually
way.
want. What do you think? Talurra will look to Helix being our pilot.
What do I think? Listen, usually when I was confronted with pirates, I just contacted whatever agency currently had hired me. And I told them, well, they better pay up the whatever the pirates were asking for in ransom, or we just jettison the cargo.
Right. I more meant which ships we could bring to fight the pirates. Not.
I don't know. I never fought pirates. I'm not a fighter.
There is one of you
pilot.
here who has thought pirates. Eisen.
Eisen's done something?
I mean, I've
Eisen
occasionally
He's done several things. He's some minor by profession of previous
I could
retirement.
tell you how to
I've
run
probably-
away
He's
from
way older
pirates.
than that.
I probably
how
fought
can he be
fire-
a minor? He's way too old.
Yeah, Dalgar's probably fought some pirates, and so has Frosty.
Mhm.
Pirates, xenomorphs, tomato.
I could tell you how to run from pirates. I've done that too. I could tell you how to run a blockade.
And just fly me close, I'll hit him with my hammer.
Oh, you got a hammer too!
Just imagining a rust bucket spaceship, and it just somehow has like a drive-through window on the side, and Eisen's just outside.
We're gonna get on.
Mailbox bashing.
We're gonna get on famously.
You got a space horn, just like.
Which oddly enough, no one would hear.
So Eisen, if you happen to come down to the hangar on
It sends it through
One Who Travels the
comms.
Void,
Yeah.
there is like basically a junkyard Optimus Prime sitting in the hangar, like kneeling next to a giant crab tank apparatus. So it's like a large size crab apparatus
Would
with
I?
ridiculously unnecessary flame decals and like huge chrome tailpipes coming out of the back of it, like a fucking like funny car racer.
You know what? Do you have a red convertible you can put on top? We can make a Megas.
Oh no, that's actually what happens because the crab apparatus, as he preps it, it actually he pilots it and it crawls up into the section.
It
And-
fits into
Oh
the-
my
It
god.
slots into the neck, and then like a dome helmet comes over the top of the crab.
So who's gonna be Coop and who's gonna be Jamie?
Well, I'm Coop.
All right.
Wait, who's the big fellow? I forget.
That's cute.
Coop.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. That's him. That's Rusty.
Do you? Does
He's got a missiles button.
Missiles, more missiles, all the missiles.
I was,
So I'm
I was about to
paying-
ask if it had
I'm
missiles.
paying
on
off. I'm paying off the mortgage on the more missiles button.
it. Wait, is that a battlefront?
Oh yeah, got it out of a scrapyard. Worked on her myself.
Play some non-copyright stores music as Dalgar puts his hand on the side of it and he closes his eyes. It's been through many battles.
It feels like the floor of a honky tonk on a Saturday night.
Are there empty peanut shells all over?
Beer, boots, and beatings.
Perhaps there is inside of it. It's difficult to see from this angle.
Yeah, there there might be some kind of snack.
Peanut shells or
Yeah,
some kind of
snacks.
snack food on the floor.
On the off
There-
chance, Dalgar's going to check the model number on it.
There is. It's the VIN is gone. Like there's no VIN plate on this
It's
thing.
been scraped away.
Mm,
The
Perhaps
cockpit on
by
the crab.
intent, perhaps by accident.
mostly by intent, I'd assume.
The crab apparatus has a cockpit with an extra seat, and it has the comfortable amenities add-on, which means that I'm actually able to sleep in the crab cockpit and take no ill effect.
Hell yeah.
So it really is a trucker cab. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So
Dalgar
actually, I
walks
haven't.
through it like he's very familiar with it.
Helix actually is like. So I actually have an idea because Big Sis here is looking basically just like your run-of-the-mill heavy freighter. So we could use it as bait.
Can
All
we
right.
can we fit Roctimus up here in the cargo hold?
You
Literally
know that
everything
Big
fits
Sister
into-
has more than enough space for Optimus to fit in Big Sister. No
Wait.
problem. The only ship that won't fit in Big Sister is One Who Travels the Void, who is almost as big as Big Sister.
Where in the verse
Big
did you...
Sis is basically an oil tanker, the equivalent of it.
Oh, outstanding.
Rust-
Yeah, no.
Rusty, where in the verse did you get this?
Well, I made her. And he does have a certain paternalistic pride about this. Like he'll go on to explain like his whole life he grew up in the battlefields and then like the Orcish war zones, and basically came up as a merchant kid, always kind of on the move, always going where the jobs were, and learned how to be resourceful with whatever was to hand. And that basically building junkyard ships was a hobby for him that turned into a career. So he built his crab rig and then went on later. He had a lucky stroke and found himself a decommissioned frame fighter that he was able to put some smuggling holds in and start making money for Grax doing small runs.
Have you ever been to the planet Drez?
Let's see. Have I?
Okay, so the only reason I say Drez is because I'm looking at the Dark Matter verse map, and it is on this near like the southern part of the war zone area.
Yeah, I feel like probably like he's been all over the space lane. So if it's a major planet, he's probably hit it once.
especially if it's around the war zone. Moving around the war zone to avoid some of the more heavily conflicted areas would be something that if your parents are attempting to keep you out of the fighting would have happened. So you probably would have been almost all over the dang place.
Yeah, they didn't have a chieftain in particular. Like they were just trying to make a living.
Well, not getting blasted.
Right, but I'm just saying is they
Yeah.
didn't have fealty to any of
Right.
the cons or anything.
Right.
Anyway,
You know
I'll go
that the
ahead.
war zone is filled with scrap and all sorts of other material. Just about everyone's heard of the constant conflict between the people stuck or living in the war zone, and both the dwarves and the Lakshayan Empire have the most heavy conflict with the war zone peoples. It's not just orcs, it's goblinoids of any type, and even some ogres and giants of some kind as well. So it's a mix of things that have gotten stuck or are constantly in conflict in the area. Their most famous weapon, of course, being the
The nuke.
super bombs that they have, the magic nukes, whatever you want to call them,
The
arcane warheads. Yes. That the cons of the war zone, as they call themselves, the cons of the war zone, which are the great leaders, the war chiefs, that they attempt to basically, whoever has the most nukes has the most power, and are in constant conflict with each other as to who can own the most arcane warheads. And he who owns the most of them, or she or they that owns the most of them, is the one that has the most power.
Talking about the great cons here.
Yes. There has never been a great con, though.
They
There
need-
have been a lot of cons, but none of them can claim the title of great con.
Alexander, they're pretty good.
They need to start making and selling some psycho then.
There's been a lot of long cons though.
Frederick's
There's been a few
somewhat
long
better.
cons, yes.
And a few X cons too.
Maybe not live in tents.
Maybe.
Trust me, living in the war zone is intense.
Not
Literally,
many
metaphorically.
know of it.
I reckon plenty of people know about it. Just very few of them get out alive to tell you about it.
Not many know what it's like to be there, though.
Anyway, I'm gonna go park her up in the other ship then. And
That was
just
good.
transfer Optimus over to the to the flying garbage scow. Big sister, you said?
Big sister.
Yep.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, as you exit the bay there, you notice Rusty in the distance, not too far away, probably just a brief skip, is what looks to be a giant flying box that has a box on top of it. And this several giant flying metal box assembly has multiple holographic doors that let you go in and out of parts of it. And most of them look packed with craft, except two, maybe three. That you can see have open spaces for you to very easily fit Optimus in.
Just for kicks and giggles, we're gonna go ahead and park Optimus in the ship frame form, like the transformed mode.
Oh yeah, it can completely fit fully transformed, even standing up in one of those bays.
Oh no,
That's how
I
big
meant in
space
the
is.
in the flyer
Oh,
mode, not in the mecha mode.
Oh yeah, not transformed. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it fits perfectly. You know for a fact, even if you transformed it in here, it could stand up and leave from here fully transformed.
Oh, that's good. I'm gonna get that jump off the line though.
You see a collection of very interesting craft in here as well. One looks like a massive drill. One you swear looks like a very strange fish. If you need a reference, it looks like a mesmer from Subnautica. And you see, what other craft did you have in there?
We had the third one, which I can't remember what it is.
Dalgar's little saber that he got from
Yeah,
the
you have-
Mantis.
Well,
Yeah.
we also have our two sabers because there's
Yeah,
more than
There's two saber craft. I think, are both of yours
three
Mantis?
actually.
Are
So
both of
there's
yours Mantis
Dalgar's.
craft or no?
No, mine and alts are
Yours and
just,
alts are just saber craft.
just standard
So-
sabers.
Two of those, Rusty, look like standard human fighters. One of them looks like a crescent moon shaped human fighter. that looks very, very interesting. You might even recognize the symbol spray painted on it as the Mantis Squad, one of the deadliest mercenary companies in the galaxy,
Ooh,
or in the known universe, rather.
fairly famous, are they?
Yeah, just about everyone's heard of Mantis Squad.
All right.
If they show up with their gear on, most people recognize their colorations and their symbols as well as their craft, having a very similar shape to this one.
Yeah,
And
Mantis wing.
what is the
I would say we got 3 from the underground area: the drill diver, the mesmer, and then there's the penguin king.
yes.
How
And
could you forget the penguin king?
yeah, and the other one looks like a colossal literally like a battle frame sized penguin.
I love it. I love everything about this.
Also, for note, I don't remember. The only one I remember in terms of name is Biggie, which we named the mesmer.
The mesmer is named Biggie. The drill diver is now named Rosinante, and the penguin king
Rosinante.
is
No, or as Talurra calls it, the drill dough. You cannot change that.
and the penguin king is still known as the penguin king.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
there's
like
no.
Kinguin.
It looks like literally like a colossal penguin.
I love it.
And it's not like a normal like Earth penguin. This is a penguin like from Subnautica, where its mouth opens up on top of its head like that, and it has like eyes around the side there. Yeah, it looks like a
I
penguin
hate
from
it.
Subnautica.
I love this.
I hate it.
Oh, I bet it's the most amazing thing watching it open that mouth.
It
up
actually
and
has a mouth too that really
Fire.
does have a bite attack.
Oh my god. Yes.
The Mantis ship is mine. I traded it with them from my old ship.
Well, shit. What were you flying before?
You were flying a really busted human saber equivalent.
Yeah, a Lokshayan fighter.
Well, I don't know about it, but it looked like you traded up. It's a fine vessel you got there.
Thank you. Shall we get going?
So let's
Let's
get
get
this
going.
show on the road. Who's driving this ship?
Helix.
The plan is to use Big Sis as bait, and then when they
We launch
Belief.
all crafts.
and then when they believe
Should-
we're easy prey.
Should the fighters flank?
We should stay inside.
Yeah, just keep the engines warm and
If they see fighter escort, they might take more drastic
Then,
efforts.
Then
to
how
take
do
care of
how do
us.
we?
I was thinking we ambush and let him get up close
Yeah.
and try and come alongside, and then we launch the fighters.
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
I mean, we can even like let some of them board so that they're really. I can fend them off.
I can help.
I mean, there's deceit and then there's method acting. I don't think we need to go all that far. There's no
Fin-
reason letting them cut holes in a perfectly good ship.
If anything, the last thing we want for them is to board.
Yes. I say keep them off and
F
If
dealt
all
with
else
borders.
it's always smarter to not let them get onto your ship.
I can help you by using the arcane cannon. I can channel some of my attacks through it.
Perfect.
So this current ship that we're on, what stats are we using for it?
One who travels the void is the equivalence of a bishop class craft.
Okay.
Though I think we're gonna leave the one who travels the void here to keep the blockade, and we take take Big Sister. And
One who travels the void says that they can stay here and make sure that no giant meteorites land on the planet
Yes.
where you're attempting to
we
attempting to take out the Titan craft inside a lava tube.
Yeah,
which
it might be for the
Might very
best.
well be a problem. If that Titan craft gets buried by a meteoroid, you're screwed. So
Yeah. We might want to leave that here and just take
Yeah.
our originals. Which means we need to assign people ships, which I mean, I guess that means that
Which one's the mesmer based on?
Mesmer is the one that's has the arcane cannon.
Yes.
Mesmer is. I think they're all equivalent to a certain type of ship, but they have different ability. Let's see.
We have the stats of them put in
Yeah.
our chat.
Do we? Let me.
Yeah, I believe it's in our pinned message.
It should be pinned
Yeah.
then.
The Rocinante, Biggie, and the Penguin King. Well, Rocinante and Biggie are both equivalents of drop ships, but they have different weapon loadouts. And the Penguin King is a battle frame.
Yeah.
With
Genuine question.
they all
with
have
the
special ability.
With the drill diver or the Rocinante, it's a boarding craft or drop ship, right? Can we board with it?
It can be used to board. Yes, it can ram other craft from the
Talurra's laying
front
claim to that
using
one.
the giant drill.
Talurra is laying claim to flying that one because she's probably one of the best boarding party members.
I mean, from our intelligence, we will only be fighting fighter craft. So
I'll use the Penguin King then.
I think you like the Rossi ramming that. I mean, you could ram that into a fighter craft, but
believe me, you can. They won't be walking
boarding
away.
it. You won't be boarding it.
It has its weapons of the drill diver face in this direction, so it covers 180 degrees on both sides. So it covers anything on the sides of the craft with the weaponry that it shoots, which I think are autocannons that I had dictated the dropship has. And it's got the drill front that it can use as a basically a space-based melee attack if you can get close enough to hit them with it. And I gave you the stats for that one as well when we all had the all of that stuff there. But the Penguin King functions as a battle frame, but its melee attack is a bite from the bill. It basically just like noms on them with the jaw attachment up top there. Or you can slap. I think I said it has a slap. It can slap with the arms.
And this battle frame slaps.
Literally. And I think I said the eyes are the weapon, the auto turrets, but it might be missiles. I don't remember if I said the eyes are weapons or missile. Auto turrets or missiles. You guys wrote down the stats though, so we're good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pull up that page because I'm definitely gonna need it.
All right. So the plan is to fly Big Sister over there and use it as bait, and then everyone pops out and attacks the minute the pirates get close enough.
Yeah, I think Helix, you're probably best off staying in Big Sister just to keep it from being taken.
I'll give you backup. Since I'm not good at piloting anything.
Also, I think probably Zora, you're probably best in the Mesmer as well. Because you have mega spells, right? If I remember properly?
I don't believe I have any mega.
I thought you talked about having mega spells.
That's right. Yeah, I've got one for holding. I've got hold ship. That's the only thing.
Arcane cannon.
The
can
Mesmer
fire.
The Mesmer has an arcane cannon which can fire your mega spell.
It can shoot not just mega spells. It turns spells into mega spells.
Yes.
So if you have evocation one that shoots us. Yeah, it's just evocation. So if you channel fireball through it, it'll make a mega fireball, like a ship-sized fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think either way, you're best off served in there.
Yeah, I think like for regular mega spells, you don't need an arcane cannon.
No, you just can't be in an atmosphere, I guess.
Yeah.
What other weapon did I say Big Sister had? I know Big Sister has an arcane cannon, but what other weapon did I say Big Sister had? Let me see.
Oh my god, what happens if I cast Earth-Shattering Kaboom through an arcane cannon?
You rip a hole in time and space.
Well, there's no sonic-based attacks in space wouldn't really work because there's no atmosphere for them to travel through.
Don't tell Attack of the Clones.
Oh no, wait, it is.
Thunder damage wouldn't really work.
5d8 thunder and 5d8 radiant.
The radiant would work, but the thunder wouldn't because there's no medium for the sound to travel through.
What if you targeted in the ship and the thunder damage traveled through the atmosphere inside the ship?
You could do that, I guess. If you tried
that would cause
to
the damn thing
target
to explode
inside of the craft. Yeah.
You can cast a spell in
I think
like
you
a
can
mega
try
spell
to target it,
inside.
the
Like
pilot. Yeah.
you can like target inside of a craft though.
I could offer up an example of like a real life simulation of that where if you like, and this is a little gross, so trigger warning for gore, but it in the Western American states, prairie dogs are a big problem, and they will use high caliber weaponry to dispose of them, and they tend to evaporate under high velocity ammo because the hydrostatic shock causes the water in the cells to literally cause the
Right.
cell to explode. So I
Yep.
imagine earth shattering kaboom would probably do something similar in the atmosphere of a ship.
And I think the attack that you can make from spacecraft is you can target the pilot of the craft, which I think, I don't know if you can target them specifically with the mega spell, but you can target the pilot of a craft with an attack. Based on, I think, certain things. So it doesn't, I don't obviously do mega damage, or you would just instantly kill them every time you targeted the pilot.
Just chunky salsa in
Yeah, yeah. But I think
When-
it increases
Oh,
your chance.
Wait, can I-
Targeted attack. When you're within 1,000 feet of another ship, you can use your action to attempt to disable one of the ship's systems. You attack it
Can
at
I-
disadvantage, but if you hit, you disable it.
Oh,
Can
okay.
can I cast Armor of Agathis through an arcane cannon to encase my ship in an ice armor?
Mhm. I mean, it would increase the AC. Just that all the spell does? What's the spell do?
No, it
Gives
gives
temp
temporary
HP.
hit points. It gives
Oh.
temp HP, and
I
if
suppose
you
it
take
would
melee
work.
damage, it deals cold damage to the attacker.
I suppose it would work.
Oh,
If you knew you were going to be meleeed by something, that'd be nice if you're fighting space sharks.
If they were trying to board you and they were on the hull,
Yeah,
Or the drill,
yeah.
or attacking with, or someone else
Or
gets their hands on a drill diver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you'd use the arcane cannon to cast the spell on the drill diver, then sure. But otherwise,
and then
because
like
the drill
ram
diver
something
doesn't
with the
have an
drill
arcane
diver.
cannon.
Yeah.
I'm looking here, and it looks like systems, weapons, and engines have 10 mega hit points each, which also goes away from the total on the ship if you target that.
Right.
So if you target the engines and you hit it and you do more than 10 damage, the engines are disabled.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. That's good to know. Because like some of the fighter craft might not have that many mega hit points in the
Yeah,
first place.
it's page 193 if you guys wanted to ship combat stuff. Because I know it's slightly different from normal 5e mechanics.
Are we close enough to the fighting now to find out how many targets we actually have?
Yes, in fact, you've made a brief jump to the coordinates enclosed by Overseer, and this particular quadrant of space has a lot of debris and a lot of junk kind of floating around, giving a lot of ambush opportunity to space pirates to jump out. The debris and junk in the area is just general space junk, previous battles and rocks, lots of damn rocks, spaces filled with lots of damn rocks. And all sorts of stuff like that. And obviously, since it's space, it's hard to see them, but your scanners give you visual of them. So Big Sister, I think, has scanners, so you definitely know what they look like. And you know where they are. You can see where the ambush points are because the scanners of Big Sister reveal them. You think most freighter classes probably don't have scanners like this one, but since someone's converted Big Sister from a freighter to a carrier, it has a little bit better scanners as far as the quality of scanner goes. So instead of going, hey, there's a rock ahead, it can tell you, hey, there's an enemy on the other side of the rock. So a little bit better scanners than your average freighter, which just has to dodge rocks in space. So yeah, you know where their craft are, and you know that there are 4 fighters.
Oh, all right.
One is slightly bigger than the other fighters.
I make sure that like our computers are linked up and that I share that information with all of the other craft that are waiting in the hangar.
Eisen, did you want to man the heavy cannons that Big Sister has?
Sure.
Okay.
Either
And
that or
meanwhile,
go onto
Helix
the-
is just trucking along, unaware, just chilling her life.
I was either
What'd you
gonna
say, Eisen?
man a gun or just, go charge them in through space.
We have what now? We have hold on. We have 3 fighters and a gunner. and a
There's still
pilot.
some fighters if you wanted to take a fighter, if you've got a
I was
pilot
gonna-
check that you wanted to use.
I was going to take was gonna take out Optimus when we get close enough to startle him.
Alternately, if you wanted to sit in Big Sister and fire the heavy cannons, Big Sister does have 2 heavy cannon attacks that I will let you make on your turn if you wanted to use Big Sister's heavy cannons.
I'm just
Can I
trying to
be-
figure out everyone's role.
Can I be mag locked to the outside of a ship?
Just
I'm just waiting for you to do that. Just one of this fucking splatters you.
I love
just-
this idea, and we'll talk.
you know that your weapons, while badass, are not damaging enough to damage a mega ship.
If he had a plasma,
As it were.
lance,
No, I think Eisen and I both need just Gundam versions of ourselves that we pilot.
Yeah.
You know, like if all of this chatter happens over the comms, Rusty is happy to oblige helping anybody work on building custom frames because it's about like building life-size Gundam model kits for this guy. He is about it.
He has taken Gunpla to the next level.
This is yeah.
I just want to attack a ship and board it and then slaughter the crew.
Well, we'll get there, but right now let's try this point defense on those little 3 guys, and then we'll all gang up on the big one. All right,
Sounds good.
Roger that.
let's get this show on the road, fellas.
All right. And as the craft get within a reasonable distance to you, after having sprung their surprise attack, which wasn't a surprise to you, but would be to a normal freighter passing through this particular quadrant of space. They pop out from behind the rocks that we're hiding behind, and the larger craft, you notice, is a modified / stolen battle frame from the Lexane Empire. You note that decals have been spray painted over top of the Lexaean symbol, and other things have been kind of welded to the outside of it. Instead of wielding like the giant weapons that the Lexaean craft has, one of the arms of this particular craft had been replaced with a massive, like, looks like a mega chainsaw.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, we're totally going to dance.
Is the
Fucking go.
do they immediately open fire or do they like hail me or something?
They pop out all kind of at once, and they don't open fire, but you get a comm from the lead ship that's kind of incoming, like an incoming communication. Do you respond to the hail?
Yes, I do respond to the hail.
Okay. The face that comes up there is that of a worn, torn kind of human. Looks as though he's definitely been through some stuff. He has a lot of scars and like a scraggly, unkept beard that looks like a really messy version of my beard. And he's got a patch over one of his eyes and like a big scar on his face from all sorts of stuff. And he goes, "Craft, what is your cargo? Respond, or we open fire."
Depression and bad ideas.
He squints his one eye at you. "Very well then, have it your way. Open
Wait.
fire."
I'm joking. Chill.
Oh, willing to talk then.
Yeah.
What do you
I mean,
have?
do you even care?
That depends on what you have.
Buying.
I mean-
what are you selling?
Our cargo is 2020.
No, you can keep it.
Keep it.
Stay away from us.
Like, no.
Send them into the maw on to the other side of the verse. We don't need that.
Right.
Have you seen the size of the ship? I don't know. I have
Very
like a
well.
I have like
Then
a
I
list
suppose we'll
somewhere
have
here.
to board you and take a look ourselves.
I have like a list somewhere. Yeah, I can send it over. Listen, I'm not getting paid enough to die for this, right? You can just have it. It's just
What?
The lead craft revs its chainsaw arm, and he points the hand at you with like in a fingered fashion. "Stop your engines."
Yeah, she shuts down the engines and actually like activates basically docking control for so that like they can communicate and just like could easily dock with a ship.
Okay.
And she's like, just like don't
Is that-
don't damage
is that
the ship,
Eisen?
please.
He just goes up into space.
Oh,
What is your cargo? Crazy man with a fucking hammer.
Boy, I picked
Honestly,
the
challenge.
I was actually thinking like for a moment, like getting hailed and what are they called again? Replacer, displacer?
Replacers.
Replacer.
Replacers.
Just saying my cargo is a replacer. You're welcome to take them off my hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He'll click on
My
the comms.
cargo's the most deadly threat to the galaxy. He can come take
Hey,
it
tell
if
him
you
about
want.
the whiz mobs.
No, we want him on our ship. We want him near our ship, not away from it.
Yeah. Don't tell about the whiz mobs or relief. But the fighter craft begin to get closer to your craft. They're not close enough to see inside the bay doors yet, which people can see in your bay doors. It's just a holographic door,
Yeah.
like so you guys can fly in and out. But they begin to get closer. And how close do you wait before everyone kind of spring attacks here?
I'd say probably at least 3,000 feet just for me personally, but
That's pretty close.
yeah, it is too. But it's something we can cover within a round, and it's a really good
Are
ambush
they-
time.
Are they all closing in?
Yeah, what's their arrangement? Like, are they how's their spacing? Are they moving in formation, or what's going on here?
Are they expecting
The
us to throw
three
frags
smaller
at them?
craft are moving in formation towards the
No, not those
red
dice.
dice
Not
of
those
doom
dice.
have been released from their prison.
Damn it.
Let me just check the battle frame.
I still think you need an over-the-top case for them that has like it's clearly colder than the rest of the air. So you open it, it's like, you know,
Yeah, I would love that.
Putting dry ice
a,
in there.
a pressurized container.
You could literally just build like an ultrasonic humidifier into the bottom of it nowadays. Like, you don't need dry ice for that.
Yeah,
Fair.
the battle frame starts to get within like 1,500 feet of the front of the freighter, and the smaller fighter craft, which I have to find in the book here.
I suppose we should roll initiative, probably, huh?
Soon.
The
Well,
smaller fighter craft are attempting to get within 3,000 feet of the cargo doors. Looks like they're going to get within like a line up to the cargo doors and fly in like quickly.
Yeah.
So as they get lined up with the cargo doors, they can clearly see from their angle that you have craft inside the freighter.
The
So
monsters we
I
have
have a-
contained.
Real quick
Question,
before we go
just one
on
moment.
internal comms.
I have a question. I have a question.
Sure.
The frame went 1,500 feet in front of my ship.
It's getting trying to get within 1,500 feet of the front of the freighter.
1,500 or 15,000?
The 1,500.
Okay. What is the acceleration on my freighter?
The freighter that you have.
There's rules for ramming. Are you gonna ram?
I know exactly. Yeah, of course she's going
It's
to
right in
ram.
front of it. I have the literally biggest fucking shit.
This is frigate sized.
Just
Yeah,
It's a freighter, yeah.
this is boxing. This is space boxing.
Give me that, you petty excuse for an officer. Lucre space, go!
Yeah.
You petty excuse for an officer. God,
Ah,
the Zap Brannigan school of heroism is really working for you.
yes. Oh, I love it.
It's never failed our party yet.
You don't
your
even.
impulse speed is 2,000, and the battle frame's impulse speed is 3,000. So if you try to ram it, it can move out of the way.
Okay.
question is, does it expect me to
Um,
ram it?
Which one are they like the same size ish or?
I think at this point we're going to need initiative orders. So we
Yeah,
can determine
Yeah,
how
let's do
works.
that. Let's do that.
I do have a quick question on that.
Sure.
How to phrase this? Well, I guess it depends on initiative orders, so
Okay.
I can't get off. I have two different plans, one of which can assist in what Helix is trying to do.
Remember, those of you that are
Hold ship.
the Saber class, you have advantage on initiatives.
Yes. Anyone flying a fighter craft or a battle frame will have that, I think, or is it just the Saber?
I saw it on the Saber specifically, but it's
Okay.
probably on other fighter class ones as well.
Okay. I'll say the battle frames will get it too, because it would make sense that they would be.
Oh, actually, also, I have the smuggler feat, which gives me advantage to stealth a ship or its cargo, or deceive
Oh.
about it.
Okay.
So
Then
in
how
that-
close do you want to let them get? You can actually let them get closer if you wanted than 3,000 feet because
Letting them get
of
within
Helix's ability to kind of fly the ship in a way that makes it hard for them to see into the doors.
Letting them get within 2.5 so that our drop ships can get within range of them would be a good idea.
They're fighters, not fucking. They're not meant to be boarded. They're meant to be shot out of the sky.
yeah.
I know, but I have a drop. I am currently piloting a drop ship effectively.
I mean,
yeah,
okay, but we can
the-
harvest these if you want to. I'll
The
go for the heads.
Rocinante and the Mesmers impulse speeds are 2,500
Vex,
feet. So
Vex
Yeah.
wants to fist fight them.
I want to
Right.
fist fight.
I think Rusty and I had the same idea. We're going to try to disable the engines, right?
I mean,
I'm going for life support.
Okay, I'll do the
Eisen,
same.
Are you gonna man the autocannons, or did you want to be on somebody else's ship to try and board / smash the pirates with your hammer?
I'll be a boarding party.
Oh God,
Okay.
please, please,
Who
please,
wants-
please.
who
I
wants
want,
the
I want
Eisen
him to
boarding
ride
party?
piggyback.
Well,
I want him to
hold
ride
on.
piggyback on Roctimus because we are kindred spirits. He and I. He is going to be a little person with a big hammer on a big person with a bigger hammer.
He can actually technically do that because his Space Marine armor can survive in space and does have magnetic boots.
and
I'm
actually,
yeah,
I'm
that-
looking at the dropship, and I'm not going to be able to pilot solo, so I'll just jump into the Saber.
Okay.
So
Does
does,
Eisen, is that what you wanted to do?
Talurra,
Yeah, I'll rock it
Yeah.
with the rocket.
if you really want to do the drop pod, I can also co-pilot.
Nah, I'll just take a ship, the Saber.
Okay.
does
Just-
Helix communicate your plan with anybody?
I'm going with intercoms, yeah.
And Scotty, you were going to say
Okay.
something actually.
She's
too.
like, oh my god, this idiot is just going right in front of my ship.
I was going to talk meta. So
Okay.
his frame, is it the same size class ship as what Helix is currently piloting? Because if it's smaller, that changes the damage for the ramming. Like their size differences changes. Both are going to take damage, but the smaller one
I would
takes
assume
more.
he's smaller.
I assume he's a lot smaller.
yeah, frames are
the-
just battleship or just fighter size.
The freighter is a frigate class.
Okay.
And the battle frame is a fighter class. Well, it's a little bit bigger than your average fighter. It's not as big as a freighter.
Okay. Is it
Big Sister is a freighter.
transport size? Because they got different ship sizes. They got fighter,
Where's
personal.
the ship size? What page is that?
165. There's fighter, personal, transport, corvette, and frigate. And I don't think we have a frigate, because if we do that, it's effing huge.
No, you have a transport size and he has a fighter size.
Okay, it's still a very significant change. So, meta-wise, because I was reading ship rules, because I've always been wanting to do the ship combat. I'm sorry for dragging it out by pulling out rule meta. But,
No, it's fine.
so Helix does not need to roll to hit. You just move into it. And as long as your maneuverability lets you turn into them, which obviously it can, and you take 2d10 mega bludgeoning, and they take 4d10 because they're two sizes different than you.
So we're gonna pancake him.
fucked.
It'll do a lot of damage to
But
his frame, but
there-
you're not sure if it'll
There are
kill.
specific ship modifications. Like I'm sure the drill would consider this, where they take like half of the damage they would normally take from ramming.
Yeah, the drill specifically takes no damage from ramming.
Yeah, that's why I love it.
Okay, so
Sorry. Okay. Initiatives.
Anyway,
Um,
initiative, everyone. Eisen, I will let you ride piggyback on Rusty's craft if you wanted to, so that when Rusty gets within boarding range, you can essentially just jump off the top of Rusty's craft and board one of the fighters.
Alrighty.
If you wanted to do that.
Yes.
Because you and Rusty are kindred spirits, since both of you have giant rocket hammers.
Would I be able to smash through one of their cockpits?
Basically, if you can board the craft, I will let you attempt to smash through the outside. Yeah, because their fighter craft has a plexiglass view screen between them and space.
Oh, yeah, no. Totally.
This is
aiming
why
for
you
the
don't
life
take
support.
fighters into melee combat.
So yes, Eisen, I will allow you to make a flying dash attack into their windshield if you want to.
He's just gonna do the thing, you know, when like people are like what you're supposed to do when you're gonna get hit by a car front on. You just jump into their windshield.
he's just Master Chief, and then just somebody says, for a brick, he flew pretty good.
Smashed her
So
cheek.
basically, for this attack, I
Smashed her
just
cheek.
I start with a ram, and then we see where we go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's definitely do that.
If that's
Alright.
the case,
Start proper initiative. There's like the
Well, hold on,
go
hold on,
signal.
wait.
What was your initiative? I don't think I have everyone's initiative.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to actually roll mine.
They're in the chat. 19 for me.
Talurra
Yep.
24, Eisen 20, Rusty 15 or 19. I'm 15. Zora
What's
also
your
got
dex, Zora?
19.
One.
Zora, what's your dex?
plus 2 decks.
Oh,
Oh.
roll off.
Perfect. That's great.
4.
5.
Ah! Cheers.
Indeed. Sorry for blasting a laugh into the microphone.
Nah, it's all good.
Let's do
I
this.
did have one quick question
Oh my god.
about something I wanted to do before they got too close in range, if possible.
Uh-huh.
So at the start of initiative, what is their current range from us? Because what I'm trying to do is sizable.
If you're gonna wait to get within range of one of the drop ships, because we're drop shipping for at least one person, then you need to wait till they get within 2,500 feet of the size of the ship.
I think Sage is
the
asking if hold chip, right?
No, I
wow.
actually want to try and do something at, let's say, 7,500 feet.
Oh, then
Well,
that
don't do
would
it
be
that
before
far
the
away.
dial. That would be
No.
before the dialogue even happened.
That's
Yeah.
okay. So when hostilities are obvious,
Okay.
Now.
before it would still be within range.
You might
Okay.
want to wait until Helix redeems them.
No, I don't.
I think Sage is going to do something to help Helix ram them.
Ooh.
What is your basically attempt or plan there?
You know those rocks that they were hiding behind?
Uh-huh.
I want to bash them into their ships with Meteoroid Shower.
Oh.
It's got a 10,000 foot range, and
Okay.
the effect is 1,000 foot radius centered on a single point. That's far beyond what I could do for whole ship, which is 5,000.
Right.
So I would kind of want to
There's
get that off
definitely
as soon as-
plenty of meteors to shower upon them.
No, I don't even have to have anything to do it. It creates a barrage. I
Oh,
just wanted to use
that's
those
awesome.
for flavor.
Neat. Okay.
But if I need to hold that until initiative, that's fine because
Yeah,
we're planning on.
Right. I'll say that because of how Helix is flying the craft to attempt to disguise the fact that you guys are just fighter craft waiting to spring out and attack them, you can't quite get a good aim on it until initiative happens, and you can pop out of the ship to basically channel it through the cannon.
Okay.
But I will let you, with your meteor showers range, can you hit more than one target, or is it just one target?
1,000 foot radius centered on a point. I choose.
Okay. Okay.
So it's like a
Um,
3 square circle.
If you target it correctly, you could hit the main, the big guy in the battle frame and one of the other fighters. Basically, if you move the radius around, when it's your turn.
Okay.
The initiative is as such
Okay.
because the
Oh.
pirates rolled garbage
Oh.
for initiative.
Well,
They're
so
fucked.
The lowest we got was 15, so we
they
will roll
will
high.
probably not under any circumstance get to go. But it'll be fun while it lasts for you. Leading initiative. Talurra,
All right. Well,
the trap has been sprung.
and they're within range of me. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have impulse, so they're well within range of me.
Mhm.
I am gonna I'm gonna take off at one of the. I'm assuming that Zora mentions the plan to everyone, right?
Mhm.
Or
I mean, the only plan I had was specifically trying to hold ship. If I'm about to throw rocks at them, I have no reason to let you know when it's that far of a range.
all right, then I'm just gonna. Well,
yeah.
so
But do what you want to. I'll adjust my plans accordingly.
the reason
Yeah.
I'm asking this is because if you let us warn us about that, the fact that you're only going to be able to hit 2 of them, I'll go for the 2 that you aren't aiming for. But if you don't tell us that, then I'm just going to go for whichever one's the closest.
If I'm going to launch from the docking bays anyways, then I'll see where you are and aim where you're not.
Fair enough. All right, I'll just
there's
launch.
enough of them present.
I'll just go beelining towards the nearest ship.
And I mean, we've danced this dance before.
Fair enough. I'm just not nearly as hard to hit in this form as I am in my normal form. That's the thing.
This is one of those things where I wish we had an actual mat and I had like 3D printed spaceships for everybody.
Right.
I can host a Roll20 map for this if you'd like.
Maybe for the future, I think we definitely should.
Yeah, we'll do this one by the seat of our pants, and in the future we'll do a Roll21 for the rest of them, because I will definitely need some kind of plan for the future battles that we have in space. There'll be a lot more complicated.
Some shields,
especially with bigger ships. Yeah.
Some ships have like shield in front only or something, you know, and you gotta get that.
Right.
All right.
All right. So Talurra,
Yes, I am
the
going
trap
to
has
go.
been sprung. There is a fighter that is 2,500 feet away from your door.
Perfect. Yep, I'm going to 2,500. I can just, I can fire from inside the ship and
You
hit
could.
them.
Yeah.
The range is 8,000. Or
Please don't
6,000
shoot from
feet.
inside the ship.
I'm going to
Shoot
take
from
out
inside
though,
the ship.
and I'm going to take off though and take a shot at one of them. Is this advantage for us or no? 'Cause this is a surprise round.
No, because they were ready for something.
If we
I'm not going to
ambushed,
count it as a surprise round, but
if we
if you
ambushed them,
yes.
you've been bamboozled, bamboozlers.
Yeah.
So, and also I am
exactly.
going to target their, I think Rusty had a good point of, I'm going to target their life support, and I'm going to attack with 18, 19, 21, 22, 23 to hit.
That definitely hits the fighter.
Cool. And I get to roll. Where's my other D8? Come on, there's another D8. I got 10 D8, 10 radiant damage, 10 mega radiant damage
Okay.
onto their, and I'm targeting their life support. So I don't.
What did you say, Scotty, that those systems all have like 10 HP?
Yeah, but you're rolling at disadvantage on each attack.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that much. I'll roll a second one just to.
Or else it would be like, why wouldn't you just aim for the life support?
I actually rolled better on my second, so yeah.
Okay.
So I dealt 10 damage onto their life support.
All right. The life support of that fighter goes down.
And yeah, and then from there, that's pretty much my turn. I'm gonna move to kind of keep space.
Okay. All right. And next on initiative, Helix.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hit the. I'm gonna hit the engines and just full on ram the frame that is in front of my ship.
Okay.
They got cocky. They got too close.
All
I
right.
flew too close to the sun.
Make your ram damage, I guess.
Yeah, I hit automatically, right?
Yeah.
This thing is so, I'm so out of just insta pace.
So pretty much
You're basically driving a bus into a squirrel. So
You
if
take-
you need size comparison.
This ship takes, the hull itself takes 2d10 mega bludgeoning.
Or I guess a bus into a deer would be a better example.
How much?
No,
do
because the
I-
deer could actually do some damage.
Which is
bus
why it
into
does
a knight in
damage to your
armor.
ship too.
How much do I deal?
4d10.
4d10
Because you're
to
two
them,
sizes,
and you'll do 2d10 to yourself.
Because each size category higher, you add another d10 in difference. But the base is always 2d10.
Oof. That's 20 already.
On yourself? Better not be.
No, I rolled for them. That's
Max out damage on yourself.
Yeah.
Insta give yourself.
that's 20. God, math. 20. No,
You
20.
have a calculator on your
30.
phone?
Yeah, one moment.
Oh, also fighters are the only ones that can do targeted attacks. So when you're in a super big ship, those guns, you can't target life support.
Makes sense.
Oh, neat. Okay. I mean, that makes sense because it's just too too big of a ship
It's
to
like
fire
trying to
on too
perform a
small of a
surgery with a fucking chainsaw.
Right.
Not gonna
30.
work.
Right.
37 damage.
37? Okay.
37 mega damage.
If this were a normal battle frame, you think you would have probably killed him. However, this is a bit beefier than your average battle
Hey.
frame, so it is not quite dead yet.
I also keep accelerating, so he's currently basically like
Okay. You just
I must
splattered
go.
the
My
bug on the
people
window and
need
you're
me.
still driving. Got it. Next on the initiative is Eisen. Do you hold your turn till you're within dive attack range?
Yes.
Okay. Zora, it is your turn. There are 2 targets that can be hit.
Magically makes a
If you wanted
mega
to hit
size.
2 of the fighters.
Zora
with
makes
your
a mega size
meteor
cardboard
swarm.
box and throws it at Delgar.
Yeah.
Great. I'm the universal version of Cell.
Yeah.
You know what? Why not? I wanted to use Meteor Shower to begin with. I want to hit as many of them as I can with a 2,000-foot diameter.
2 of the fighters that were on the side are within that range of each other.
Great. If they're autopilots, they automatically fail. If not, I need a wisdom save, please.
They are not autopilots, oddly enough. Although that probably would be better than their actual piloting skills. What's the wisdom save DC?
Wisdom save DC, I believe, is 16. Double checking.
All right, I rolled dice and subtracted their wisdom, since to be a pirate in space, you have to be kind of dumb. Or make bad decisions anyway. They both failed because their wisdom is negative.
Wonderful. 8d6 mega damage coming right up. 10, 20, 28, 30, 36 mega damage.
Okay.
Mega bludgeoning damage.
36 mega bludgeoning damage trashes both of their craft, I do believe. Let me double check. Yeah. Both of their craft explode.
Nice.
Meteor Shower kind of appears out of nowhere as if by some sort of incredibly powerful spell. As you kind of like cast your spell and like slam your hand into the arcane cannon, channeling the spell through the Mesmer's
No,
arcane cannon.
It's not a arcane cannon spell. This is
Oh,
a
it's
straight up
not.
spell.
So it is a
that's
mega.
awesome.
It's a mega spell, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I like to think it just
All right.
you open up like a little wormhole for each meteor or something.
And it just just blasts meteors out of nowhere into their craft, and they just freaking explode. And that's your turn.
I take out the Mesmer as far as I can to get an open eye on the entire battlefield because I have absolutely no reason to be within close quarters right now.
Okay. You fly out and you can see from your distance the other fighter that Talurra is engaged with there, and the captain on the front of the ship kind of smashed up against the front of the freighter like a bug on a windshield. Rusty, it is your turn. You don't even need to move very far, and you can fly right up to that captain. He's splatted on the front of the freighter like a bug on a window.
He sure did. So I'm going to go ahead and Rusty's going to basically fly out in what amounts to it looks like a spaced semi, right? So it's like a truck cabin with like four big, like they look like rocket nacelles, but they've just got impulse engines in the back of it. They're really cargo pods. But he'll loop around. He'll basically kind of bank and roll so that Eisen can jump off of the cab on top of the beleaguered big boss, transform as he peels off and heads for the first of the 2 smaller targets that hasn't been struck yet. And he's going to go ahead, pull out that, as he finishes like the transformation, reach back and pull out what looks like a collapsible rod of some kind, but it expands out and like just telescopes into a long handle. And then from there, it grows a big ring, pops out just a god-awful huge hammerhead with what looks like a midnight black, Anish Kapoor can't use this color kind of hammerhead, and giant rocket verniers in the back. And, it takes a moment to strike a pose with the momentum built up, and then you see the rockets light up on the back of this thing, and he goes into like a big whirlwind swing. And I'm going to target those life support systems on friend number 1.
And I'm assuming friend number 1 is the captain.
No, friend number 1 is not the captain. I've left Eisen to finish off the captain with
Okay.
with his wrecking shit.
Eisen, I'm gonna just let your attack go off as Rusty's initiating his. So go ahead and make your attack roll versus the window of the captain's battle frame. While Rusty, go ahead and make your attack versus the other fighter.
Okay. So that's going to be a 23 to hit.
Okay.
And that's big old mega damage numbers on this motherfucker because hooey, craftsman damage rules are kind of stupid. Okay.
Eisen, what's your attack?
Let's see. 23 as well.
All right, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage for me.
27 mega damage. I was targeting the life support systems, but I might have actually shot right through it.
That's what it sounds like to me.
How much mega damage?
27.
Okay. Talurra, did you do any damage to that fighter already?
The one
no?
that I fired at, I did 10 to just its life support.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying not to tag the ones that have already been hit, so I'm looking to.
But there's only one left.
Yeah, Saege pasted the other two.
The other two are basically debris at this point.
Oh, well, shit. Okay.
You target the other one with your 27 damage and just splatter it into space paste, and it is just debris as well as your hammer collides into the already busted life support systems and sends the craft into a pile of debris that kind of flings that direction as you slam into it with the spiraling hammer attack.
Okay. Well, in that being the case, then he'll try and bank off of the remains and use his extra attack on the back head of the captain's craft.
Okay.
We're not gonna target a system. I'm just gonna use a regular attack on that.
What was that, Eisen?
The canopy would take 19 direct damage.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's probably gonna take a lot more than that because I just hit it with a 29, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So. Five, 9.
I have to try and use whole chip so I can throw Eisen into one of these bastards.
Yeah.
21 damage that time.
Okay. Looks like it's starting to fall apart. Eisen, you very easily smash through the front of it, venting the last bit of air as Rusty's blast takes out some of the systems to the craft. Do you attempt to pull the captain out, or what do you want to do?
Well,
How do you end the captain?
If he wasn't wearing a suit, I'd throw him out into the cold vacuum of space.
Okay. As the ship begins to fall apart from Rusty's blast, you smash the windshield open and just kind of introduce him to the vacuum of space before the systems kill him, letting space do the rest of the work as he near instantly turns into a crystalline version of himself.
Wow, he wasn't wearing a life suit?
Does he bounce off the cockpit window of
What
the
a
big sister?
dipshit.
Right?
Just imagine she's the flies out just like on the bridge, just
Yeah.
Can you like toggle the windshield wipers?
Yes.
And it just smears him, just like a big green.
This is making it worse. It's just dried crystalline space captain all over the front of the window.
Can you cast prestidigitation through the arcane cannon?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And that's it. The battle is over without a shot being fired from the enemy.
Or maybe.
I
Do you
feel
have prestidigitation? I do
too
cast
easy.
prestidigitation through the arcane cannon.
Because of the freighter's continued movement, you have all of the pieces of the battle frame that is completely wrecked that you fired at and vented the captain from. So you have the pieces to that battle frame, but it is broken and is going to need put back together again. So you will need scrap to put it back together. If you wish to repair the captain's battle frame to make it flight worthy again, you will need 3 mineral scrap and about 2 days worth of work.
I also I deaccelerate and I will use do I have a tractor beam or something like that to
No,
catch?
but you do have Rusty who could fly over and basically catch the pieces.
Okay.
I'm down.
I just flat in it sputtering and choking out.
Why does a big freighter not have a tractor beam that should be
You
installed?
would have to have one installed. You think whoever built this freighter kind of built it to be a surprise attack carrier instead of, a freighter, but didn't get around to putting the tractor beam on it before the mimics killed them all.
Is
Also,
there enough scrap left of the other 3 ships that we could make use of them too, or are we gonna have to like
If
harvest? the
you
minerals
could
from the
catch up
rocks
to
around?
the scrap.
Oh, so it got hyper accelerated.
Yeah, some of it did from your hammer and the rest of it from Zora's mega spell.
Boy, Newton is really just the meanest son of a bitch in space, huh?
There's a lot of scrap floating around, though. If you want to pause for a brief moment, I'll let you harvest some mineral scrap from the space around you.
I think in fine adventurer fashion, we should take a moment, loot the bodies, and
yes.
yeah, gather some spoils.
Oh my
Okay.
god, oh no, wait, I just realized that I don't need a tractor beam. I can cast Mage Hand through the arcane cannon. and
You most
just
certainly
grab
can.
it.
Mega hand, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
you most
Master
certainly can.
hand.
Oh god, that's terrifying.
So I just read on the Arcane Cannon. I'm sorry, I'm being a rules lawyer tonight. I don't know why.
It's fine.
You just have to spend an action to charge it, and then next turn you can use it. Obviously, that didn't matter here at all.
It didn't matter in this instance, but in the case of your mage hand spell, I'll let you charge it into the cannon
I guess
and
it
then use
balances
it.
it, so you don't just go, I cast Mega
Yeah.
Fireball every round.
Boom. Yeah.
Does she turn into Mega Maid?
Oh, it didn't matter for Zora either, because Zora wasn't using the Arcane
Right.
Cannon.
Yeah, that's true.
She's gone
It
from
was
suck
just
to blow.
I think you should be allowed to cast cantrips as like a single action through it, because then you can
It would
do
be neat if you could.
because then
yeah.
you can do fun things like, for example, cast Mage Hand as a mega spell and flip your enemies off.
Can they see the hand though? Like,
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's
Mage
described
Hand
as a
is
spectral
spell.
hand.
It's
oh
Yeah.
right, it's only
not
invisible
invis-
if you've got a rogue and you're doing
Yes.
a
Right,
trickster.
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though in her case, it's actually like a huge tentacle, so it's like
Or
there's this
even
spectral
better.
tentacle.
Or if you meta
that-
magic with Sorcerer.
No, I like the giant. I like the idea of like a giant space-sized spectral tentacle. That's very
Yeah.
Cthulhian.
Between Rusty and Helix, you managed to salvage the exploded captain's battle frame. It basically functions the same as a normal battle frame, but it has 10 extra hit points. And instead of the Uchigata, it has a chainsaw, which does the same damage. It's just part of the hand, so you can't really like let go of it or
Does
be
it-
disarmed by Space Shark.
Can we
So-
flip
I mean, you
massive
can.
double barrel to the other one?
Yeah, so this
You
is the
could.
point where Rusty's really
It's
gonna.
got a free hand on the other battle frame.
This is the
Ruby.
point where Rusty's really gonna shine here, is because not only does he have the ability to make weapons for himself that have crazy abilities, but he can make new modded weapons for everybody really, up to and including the frame. A battle frame weapon will cost 1,000 credit normally for construction. Add 500 for masterwork, and then if we can start talking what you want to do to it.
Eisen, do you wish to have this frame modified to be your craft since you're the space marine that doesn't have a ship at this point?
Rusty, are you gonna have like your own stall here now, where like you're the upgrade shopkeep guy?
I mean, probably.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
It's gonna be like a modified cargo container, like apartment.
Oh
Right?
hell yeah! Yes, yes, I'm all for it.
All right, so Rusty, it looks like you might have a customer here with Eisen wanting that battle frame customized there. So you will need to pause for a brief moment to harvest some space scrap, which given that you have some battle frames here, it's easy to take some scrap from the surrounding area. There's plenty of mineral scrap around to gather from both the asteroids floating around and the scrap metal from other exploded space battles. Not your particular space battle, since high impact things happen with your space battle. So the debris from your space battle that wasn't the battle frame is going in a downward direction from your current location at a rapid speed. So catching it is not very easy
Is
at
it-
this point, but
has
there's
it
plenty of
entered-
hiding around it.
Has it entered the gravity well of the ring world?
No, you're far enough away from the ring world. You're not going to worry about that. You're actually just outside of the range of the ring world's solar fighters, which can't go beyond the light of the sun because their solar power batteries
Sure,
don't last
okay.
as long. So they can reach out quite a bit, but you're like literally on the edge of where the solar fighters would be able to go.
And they were
You're
going
like
the wrong
just
way.
beyond that. So
Okay.
and you were heading towards the ring world. But yeah, like if this is where the ring world is, the scrap is going this way.
Do you want to treat the ship scrap like currency for the upgrades? So like he has like 1,500 ship scrap or something.
Yeah, like
Probably more
if
than
you
that.
gathered,
A lot more than that.
well, if you gathered enough scrap from the surrounding area, you could basically piece it together without having to spend the credits.
I was gonna say is like parts and labor. It's literally just like the cost of materials. So if we're getting the materials for free, then that takes out a lot of the cost.
do we get any
So
extra?
I can do it for like 750, and then like call that
There
the cost.
in Discord, there's your design.
Hey,
Also,
Hell yeah.
all I could picture with Eisen boarding is anyone seen Gurren Lagann?
Yes.
mm-hmm.
The fight. So Jesse, the fight with the Beast King, pretty much, where he just walks up, just rips open the mech. It's just that's all I pictured with that.
yeah. Yeah, so you could definitely do that with some of the surrounding space material. Gathering some of the material here that Eisen basically just, or somebody or the party in general could give you 750 for costs, and you could turn the scrap and the battle frame into a working battle frame for Eisen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm putting down. Do you think this would be fair after that working battle frame? We have like 500 extra.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just so we can keep track somewhere.
Yeah. I'll upload into the Discord like a short menu of options we have for things, but
It's
the customization options for craftsmen are kind of ridiculous. So
And we'll deal with this at another time because right now we're doing some exploring.
right.
So you're heading towards the ring world with your gotten gains from destroying the space pirates. And have made a point to the other space pirates that might attempt this that screwing with your ring world is a really bad idea. So hopefully this cuts down on these space morons, space pirates, sorry. I choked on something there. And you don't have that problem again. So maybe you'll get your point across since there were no survivors. And their friends will definitely get the point that messing with this particular ring world is not worth the cost. Or the only ring world as far as you know, since this is the only one you know of. And you fly towards the ring world. Those of you who haven't seen the ring world yet, which would pretty much just be Rusty, you see a massive, just unbelievably colossal space station. It surrounds this sun, which is the most yellow, brightest sun you've ever seen. In fact, you've seen a lot of suns, and the sun looks nothing like any of them. And it's quite radiant, one would say. And the ring world itself is the equivalent distance from this sun to where Earth would be, or the third rock distance, as far as planetary orbit goes. And it goes the entire distance around the whole sun. So this ring world is basically just absolutely colossal. It is a very alien design that you have never seen crafted before, and it is made out of some strange material that is unlike anything you've ever seen.
Well, no, you don't see that every day.
And the party are heading towards docking bays. You know, one Titan class docking bay, which is a Titan ship sized docking bay, a city sized ship docking bay. This ring world has two Titan docking bays. One of them has been converted into a hangar, and you see the Mantis squad symbol spray painted over that entire hangar. And then you see multiple hangars all over the place for other ship to dock. There are a lot of ships coming in and out of here, and there is a Titan craft currently docked here. All the rest of you identified this craft, of course, because it is the St. Vincent.
Really? No.
The St. Vincent, and it's docked here, apparently dropping off more refugees, the rest of you would imagine. Rusty, you're not sure why the St. Vincent's docked here, but you've seen it. You've heard of it, too. Maybe
mean-
you've seen it in the distance. You've never been this close to it, though.
I was going to say, is this like a Howl's Moving Castle kind of scenario where it's like known to exist?
Yeah,
But
you've
mostly
heard
myth?
of the good that the Saint Vincent has done. It is the patron saint of spaceships as far as their goodness gone throughout the verse goes.
Right.
Everyone's heard of their good deeds, much like you've heard of the Mantis Squad's bad ones. The Saint Vincent is known for all of its basically saintly deeds. Hence the name. And it is docked here currently in the other Titan Bay.
Well, this has just been a day for first and no mistake.
The outside of this craft is made of the most pearlescent white and the shiniest gold you've ever seen. You're fairly certain it's not gold, but it's definitely colored with such.
Ooh, I wonder if they'd let me get some of them whole plates.
And you pull into the dock, and I will let you have a brief moment of role play amongst yourselves while I go use the Tiny Universes room.
So, what do you think of this station?
Well, I think y'all got some nice digs. It's certainly big enough, spacious, nice views, good neighbors.
I mean, yeah, you could call it spacious. It's
I mean,
pretty fucking huge.
you could call it space. Shit.
I'll have to work with you sometime, Rusty. I used to have a battle frame myself back in the day. If we can get the parts, I would like to try to recreate it to the best of our abilities.
Well, that just sounds all right with me. Eisen's got first in line for the for the shop, but after that, I'm sure we can work something out.
Oh, of course.
And frame parts not being too damn hard to find in these parts after all.
Hopefully not.
By the way, does anyone know like where the ring world left off? Like location wise, like where it's parked?
He told us originally. Dalgar wouldn't know, but let's see. I think he said we are really far away from your home.
Yeah, we are literally like middle of nowhere, pretty much.
So you see the second quadrant on the verse, where it has like Draxel and Hearthmund planets.
Okay, so like the northeastern quadrant.
You see Varn, I think is how you say that, Varden.
Okay.
We're a little bit past that. Like we're technically a little bit outside of the map.
Oh, so y'all okay? So the ring world is actually parked outside of the outermost like
Maw,
rim
yeah.
maws. Oh wow.
Each one of those red dots is a maw, and the lines
Right.
are how they connect.
Yeah. No, I'm I'm familiar with Dark Matter map. I was just like, so we're out past Varden.
Yes.
Wow.
Somebody just gave us some bits, I think.
Ooh.
I was not looking on OBS. I apologize, but whoever gave the bits, thank you very much. It's very appreciated.
Actually, where your current location is more like if you're looking at the Dark Matter map, kind of south and west of Martax.
Oh, okay.
Martax. Which quadrant is that?
It's near the Lekshayan Empire, kind of between
Oh.
that empty space between
I
the
see
two
it.
human
Oh,
empires.
we're near the dead zone then.
Oh, geez. Okay. So kind of close to Saul.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said we were like really far on this map. We're saying
You're
northeast.
far off, but you're kind of more like, because this is a 2D version of a 3D map,
Mhm.
you're more kind of up from that location in a space above where normal shipping lanes would just never notice you. And the sun has nothing around it that anyone can really see from any of their scans done. So nobody really notices it. And this sun is clearly not a normal sun. You know for a fact that engineers for years have attempted to build ring worlds and have never succeeded because the gravitational forces of the sun would tear the ring world apart. So it's impossible to stay together. So this sun is very unique in the sense that it is apparently not creating any gravitational forces that could tear the ring world apart.
Mhm.
Yet it's still a sun.
They found the Goldilocks star.
Yeah, pretty much. At least as far as you can tell, anyway. From an engineer standpoint, this ring world is like almost sci-fi to you. Like you would never imagine something like this could be created.
Yeah, in a galaxy full of marvels, this is still pretty impressive.
Right.
Well, but yeah.
You
So
land in
apparently,
the ring
Dalgar
world
wants
dock.
Dalgar wants us to work on recovering a mecha for him later on down the road.
Okay.
Too, so
Certainly can. Yep.
I'll have to start a queue.
And you land on the
I would-
docking bay of
I would
the.
work with you. I used to be a mechanic.
Well, I'd be happy for the hands.
Sorry,
All right.
continue.
Sorry. I have to take another brief pause and help my wife here with something real quick. So you land on the dock. You all kind of leave the crafts area there.
Mhm. It's
And
okay. You guys can go smooch.
it's a bit more complicated than just a kiss. I won't go into details on camera, but
You see, when a DM and his wife love each other very much.
right. But I'll be right back. So you are off of
Roger,
the
roger.
ship, and you've kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you're off the ship for the moment and are in the dock area.
So Dalgar, we'll just like cut pan to like R&R, and Dalgar is like in the mess hall, and he has made a tea, and he offers Rusty, "Hey, did you want any tea?"
I mean, sure. Do you got anything? You got anything a little stronger than tea? Well, I'll try the tea. I don't know
mean-
what kind of tea you got here.
We have a fabricator, but I more make the materials myself and make it myself out of traditional reasons.
Hey, Scotty,
Yes.
can you do me a favor?
Are you going to be American and I'm going to be the British, and you're just going to dump my tea out?
Roll me a d20. Wisdom save.
Oh, wisdom.
Why?
I think it's wisdom. Give me a second to double check.
Is it for frighten or anything like that? Enchant.
No. It's no, it's a strength check. I apologize. I need a strength check.
21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. You feel telekinesis try to restrain you
Kinky.
Why?
because I wanted to flip him upside down while he was handing you the tea.
You know, I
They
could
have a
easily,
very-
if I'm getting flipped upside down, the tea just hovers in the air.
Don't care about the
Jesse,
tea. Just wanted to
Jesse,
flip you.
they have a very interesting relationship with each other.
More of
Interesting to see.
more of Dalgar is just trying to live, and Zora's being a tsundere.
Yeah.
No, not a tsundere. What's
No,
the-
she's not yandere.
No,
She's
you better not
yandere.
be.
No, not yonder.
That's chaotic evil. That's you killing everybody else at the party.
Anyways, well,
Which
we'll get there when we get there.
You could certainly try.
Since I couldn't flip you with telekinesis, I was just peg you in the back of the head with another cardboard box.
Oh wow, you just
Trying
went
to-
to pegging, huh?
Trying to flip, go to pegging. Wow, yeah, your relationship is interesting.
What is wrong with us today? Anyway.
You say this like this is not how I always am, Scotty.
Yada.
Dalgar instead will fabricate a big tall glass of beer or something for Rusty.
I mean, well, thank you.
If you
I
don't
have
mind
no
me
worries.
asking, where in the war zone did you work? Pretty much anywhere.
I mean, we moved around a lot. We started out about 2 light years north of Drez, and just kind of bounced around the entire zone until I was old enough to strike out on my own.
Did you deal much with the dwarves?
I mean, I don't have any personal problem with them. They deal fair. They make good hardware.
Their supplies are. Their equipment is very durable. I'll give them that. Meanwhile, they're having a fun time in Vampire. If you can hear the laughing in the background.
Wow, they're having fun time in Vampire. I thought they only had bad times in that game.
I know, it's weird. I'm kind of worried
You
that
need
she's
to-
laughing.
Strange.
I need to make sure
Can
to
we share
clip that
this
now
laughter?
and send it to Kat. There's-
In any case, My order was betrayed by the Lancashire Empire.
Oh, well, the only about thing I can really say about the Lakshay is they make a good fighter, but that's about as far as I'm willing to comment on it.
Their culture has been too close to war for too long. They would rather fight than try to find a peaceful option.
Oh shit, we know what that's like, don't we?
Mm-hmm. But in any case, it's nice to see someone else from the same sector of the verse.
Oh well, delighted, I'm sure.
What kind
But,
of ships have you worked on? Is it mostly framework that you work on, or have you worked on any dark matter engines?
No, I mean shit. Before I had my own ship, I would run charter for Drax's crew for several cycles. So I've worked in dark matter engines on major ships before. I tend to keep the smaller ones just because they're easier to run around in. I can't imagine what it'd be like getting into the engine room with this thing.
I'm not sure if there are engine rooms in this. Talurra.
A drone comes over and a little face appears on it that you identify as the face that Overseer puts on so that you can see who it is. By the way, I did his voice wrong last time, so I do apologize for those of you who knew that the voice of Overseer was a British accent and not just some generic computer. I do apologize, sirs. I hate to intrude. Were there questions on the craft?
Yes, we're actually curious. Are there any engines on the craft?
The ring world is currently powered by the sun.
So does
Not
not
all energy systems are powered by the solar energy created from the Einstein-Rosen bridge to the radiant dimension that we call the sun.
So not a dark matter drive.
No. As such, the craft requires no maintenance and can pretty much function indefinitely so long as the Einstein-Rosen bridge does not get resolved by somebody's tinkering. Thankfully, the radiant dimension provides its own level of protection.
Huh. Well, ain't that something?
I do not recommend getting too close to the sun.
Well, not usually, no. That's what
You
we
won't
call a
burn up.
career limiting move.
You won't burn up in the traditional sense, but you will explode.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm. All of
Huh.
the current beings present will explode anyway.
Well, all right then. So just like any star, stay away from it.
Pretty much.
So
I
what's
do
our-
apologize, sirs. If you wish to explore the ring world, the transit system is over yonder. And he motions to a what looks to be a train station, kind of very out of place off to the side of the dock. A very sci-fi looking train station, where a holographic kind of display of looks to be a very old school conductor of a person is standing. And it's like in the distance.
I'm gonna go have to grab my crab. I'll be right back. And he's gonna have to
Your-
head down to the hangar
Your
and
crab.
yeah. So his frame, the helmet of the frame pulls back, and there is a large size mechanaut crab apparatus tank that basically spider walks down the side of it and like out. And it's almost like somebody hacked together a Tachikoma and a John Deere tractor for like the main body of this thing, right?
I'm noticing a theme with your characters, Jesse.
Uh-huh.
You have a lot of eight-legged friends.
All right, call me out with those shit. Yeah.
Well, no, not just that, but your little hermit crab also has eight
No,
legs.
Yeah, that's true. I do have an affinity for the arthropodal, but the stat wise, it's on the large end of the large scale. It can fit 2 people.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's got like on the fronts where its claws would normally be. One of them is like a giant fuck off hammer, and then the other side looks like a. The best way to describe it is like a grapnel or a hook, like a grappling hook, but also there's a big chain reel on the back of it, and it looks like it might have some kind of like a pneumatic launch system almost.
Oh, this is
Mechanically, it's a giant chained anchor So it's got the reach and trip properties and does bludgeoning damage.
This is like a mecha version of, I'm trying to remember the Pokemon's name, but it's like the bug one that has like the cube of dirt on its back.
Oh, like Crustle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crustle. I was getting Crustle and I realized I muted myself.
Just call me Krusty. My name's Crustle. My friends call me Krusty.
Don't ask why.
Don't ask. Don't ask.
Oh me. Yeah. So yeah, so that comes down and like it sits there and it's like chugging like an idling race car. So there's like occasionally like flames spurting out of the back of the exhaust pipes that it has built into it. Anybody want to ride along?
Sure.
All right then. It'll like lean down and the whole like cockpit hatch will lift up. This thing is self-sealed, so you don't have to wear a life suit inside of it, but it's a sealed environment. If you're in the crab suit, you take half of the damage that the crab takes. Any occupants in it will take like half the amount of damage the crab takes in combat. So you may or may not want to stay inside.
Dalgar's, you would have noticed by now, but Dalgar does very much monk-esque, where he goes around in robes. He usually has his hands in the sleeves. Even when he goes to sit down in your mech, he's being as polite and as graceful as possible, despite the circumstances.
Despite the cardboard box hovering about 15 feet above head.
No, it's still on his head. He's just ignoring it.
The interior of the cockpit, it's actually kind of like plush, like an old 70s van.
Oh,
right? It's got like the
very
the
fluff.
carpeting and the
Yeah.
it's cozy in there. There is like a small stuffed, like some kind of a monstrosity, right?
Mhm.
Sitting over in the corner.
Shag. That's what I was trying to think of. It's very
Shag
shag.
Dalek.
Yes.
Awesome.
And there's like a little jiggly, like dancing amoeboid. It's almost like a hula girl, except that it's just a jelly
Oh.
figurine that
Just
sits on
an
his
boy
desk.
that jiggles.
Is it-
Just yeah.
Is it
just
kind of
like
doing
that.
this?
Yeah, it's a little sinuous, but it's not overtly
Sexual. Yeah.
It's like
raunchy or anything.
it's like
just-
a little amoeboid shaped stack of Jello jiggling on the dashboard.
That's actually amazing. That's definitely something that should be in Dark Matter. Just on the dash is just a
Yeah.
little jiggly amoeboid.
So
when you like slap it, it goes, oh bother. Like a droopy dog voice. Oh bother.
So
I love this difference between Blake's Snoopy Dog and Gussie's.
All of his have like a kind of like jiggly voice, and mine all sound like droopy dog. I love it. I love it. All right. You have a train platform you can board in order to explore the ring world.
Do we take your mecha crab onto the train?
oh yeah, no, I'm not going exploring without it.
You do note that the train
Fantastic.
is large enough for large-sized creatures to board.
Also,
That's lucky.
while we're kind of funneling, Talurra's gonna bring out her while we're heading out, she's gonna head out with her life suit mech as
All right.
well.
Anyone else grab theirs? There's quite a few of them.
Sure.
I feel like we're like on Pandora, like we're about to roll out in the walkers, you know?
There's quite a large number of life suit mechs. I think all of you have one.
We
Yeah.
had 3. We brought 3 back with us.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch Avatar. It's been a
I
while.
I think
we
Helix had
talking-
like a special version, if you will.
The blue monkey Avatar.
James Cameron, dick.
Dances with Smurfs.
I had
Yes.
I know mine had the medic symbol painted on it.
Yeah.
So is Eisen riding on someone's shoulder, or what's happening here?
Nah,
Eisen's his
walking
own mech
himself.
suit.
All right, but it's got to be 2 days before he can use it, unless you're using the life suit.
His armor is his life suit.
No, his armor.
His armor's his
Yeah,
life
'cause
suit.
he's
He's
Is-
got
the-
Space Marine
but-
armor.
He's the
But
Space
he's
Marine
like-
fighter.
Is he gonna get left behind from all these mechs walking around? Like they're gonna
Nah,
have
No.
mine
Not
is
gonna outpace
literally
him.
just mine literally just makes me have a 30 extra HP.
Don't you have like a jetpack jump thing you can do as well, Eisen?
Yes, the Pulse-in Frame X
Yes.
as a booster.
It may be
Okay.
worth pointing out that my crab tank can also it has a Arachnotron modification, so it has like spider walk ability. So it has a climb speed of its own, and it can go upside down.
Nice.
Helix is just chilling in her normal exosuit that she always has on.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
it
'cause I
can't be
think the
really
three-
taken off.
I think the 3 characters that had the mech suits in their possession were me, Alt, and Colliloquie.
Oh, right. That's
The
right.
Shorty Squad. The Shorty
Yeah,
Squad
the Shorty
had
Squad
the
all
mechs.
had the mech suits. Yeah, the mech life suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's normal life suits present as well that you can use. There's some of the holograph life suits as well if you don't want to have all that extra equipment on. But the underwater armor that you can wear also is technically like an armored life suit. While it's not as awesome as Eisen's armor, it does count as a life suit that won't break when you take any damage. The holograph life suits are great, but they break when you take damage, just like a normal life suit. But they're a button. So, they're not like I have to put this whole thing on like a hazmat suit. You just go like this and you have a holographic life suit.
I really love that, by the way. That's amazing.
Hollow solograms. It's a hologram, but it's solid.
So, like applied hard light in a different aspect. I love
Basically. And you approach the platform, and there is what looks to be a very old-fashioned holographic conductor. And as you approach the platform, the conductor goes, right this way, step aboard to breathe and see the wonderful wonders of the great ring world. And he kind of motions towards the train. No tickets needed, all admissions are free, especially for those who run the place.
This isn't the Polar Express, is it? This isn't.
I mean, I could cast some ice underneath the train if you want me to.
Deja vu.
Just one question.
Is the conductor Tom Hanks?
How does he
looks a lot
pronounce the
Tom
word
Hankish in his
refreshing?
appearance? Holographically speaking.
I can't deal with his portrayal of the conductor just because something about the way he said refreshment. It always put me off in that movie.
Yeah, I know. Definitely not like that. And the conductor disappears and appears in the train and goes, I will be your conductor for this wonderful journey. Please step this way. And you all kind of board the train, I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All of you board the train and the train moves at first like a normal train, and then you see along the track several large metal rings. And inside the metal ring is what looks to be a swirling portal of sorts. And as the train moves along the track, it goes through the portal and instantly appears on through some other portal, some great distance along the track later. And you are at a destination almost nearly instantly. Now, this train uses the latest and greatest in the technological breakthrough of the creators. This marvelous and truly genuine craft can travel anywhere on the ring world to any of these life pods of different biomes that you wish. We'll currently stop at the first stop. And the craft stopped at another part of the city called the Entertainment District. The Entertainment District of the city, as you are well aware, is a district that provides all sorts of different holographic entertainment as well as real entertainment of pretty much nearly any kind you can imagine, be it arranged fights, actual fights, holographic fights, mech fights, robot fights, any kind of fight you can imagine, any kind of sport you can imagine, and some sports and fights I'm sure you can't imagine, as well as everyone's favorite zero-G football, which is basically like soccer played with no gravity.
Sounds not like a very good idea, honestly.
It can be pretty dangerous on occasions, yeah, but
it's just 22 fools and a ball just floating around in zero G.
Pretty much. Everyone can kind of like jump around and bounce off of each other in different parts of the platforms and stuff.
Literally, all I picture is just Blitzball from Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, it's like Blitzball, but you can't use your hands.
Fuck you, Vex. I didn't want to say it at first.
Yes, you did.
Exactly what I thought.
I'm just not afraid to say it.
No, you're
right. And then the next train portal it takes you to is the next entranceway on the city is to the high class living area. These quarters are meant for different creatures of all sizes and types, as it were. And the different quarter that you see here is of a high class living. Pretty much most of the people who stay in the city now, the refugees, stay here because why would you stay somewhere else? And all the amenities you could ever imagine are present. You would see in a luxury apartment. All of these houses and apartments and conduits here that people live in are all made for creatures of any size. Be they large creatures, small creatures, have they hands or tentacles, whatever their appendages may be or their construction, they could essentially live here in the most luxurious of fashions. The high-class district, living district, basically has any kind of like luxury restaurant you can imagine. All of them are, of course, completely automated because why would you have a person do something that a machine can do perfectly every time? So this particular district has all of that sort of arrangements. And the next one you see on your stop here is again within the city is the average class living district. From the small number of people you see living in the city, nobody stays here. There are maybe a few people that straggle through the district, but they're more travelers through the district than they are people who stay here. There's just not enough space to really fill this district with anyone. The average class district is exactly how it sounds. Everything is kind of average. Nothing is very luxurious. Nothing's very fancy. Everything's kind of average. There's some people who stay here who appear very monastic in nature. They appear very like simple. They don't really want anything complicated in their lives. They enjoy the simple things, so they stay here. Some of the orc refugees stay here because to them, this is luxurious because it's not a hole in the wall or a cave that they're dodging bombs in. So it's luxurious as far as they're concerned. And a lot of the refugees from the war zone are definitely staying in this area. But you see, they kind of don't really live here. They stay here, but then they go somewhere to the luxurious district to hang out because why would you just hang out here? All the really cool stuff's over there. And of course, they go to the entertainment district regularly because that's where all the entertainment is. And of course, the next district they go to is the underground class living. And this is for creatures or species who are sensitive to daylight. This area does not have any sun or daylight. It's all artificial lighting. It is designed for creatures of any size or make. The average class living was mostly for medium-sized creatures, you noticed. That has the most amount of space for medium-sized creatures. Large and small-sized creatures might feel a bit out of place in the average class living area. The underground class living area, however, has people for all sizes and types. So anything with any kind of appendage, be they tentacle or hand, cloven foot or whatnot, could live here, be they a large-sized creature or a small-sized one, but there is no sunlight in this area. So nothing that would be considered daylight is present here. So creatures that are sensitive to daylight, like Talurra species, is definitely more at home in this particular district. It is just as luxurious as some of the luxury classes, but people who are used to living in space where there is no sun like this district a little more. So you notice this district does have a large number of people in it from the war zone. The district uses a lot of red lighting instead of normal lighting colors because it does not interfere with people's dark vision. So creatures that are used to moving around in dark vision like the red lighting because it doesn't really mess with their eyes much. It's easier to see. It's very pleasant on the eyes. This district is for creatures and beings that might be sensitive to daylight. And there's quite a large number of them living here. And the next district you run into that the train takes you to on the tour, as it were, is the bio-research labs. These research labs are used for any type of biological research or medical treatment imaginable. And it appears as though the doctor is in. So if anyone is sick, now we can stop here. So we have two districts in this particular area. We have the genetics lab where Dr. Tepesh is currently treating patients that might be sick or injured from any type of sickness or injury you can imagine. And then we have the Nautiloid Ocean Terraforming Lab, where there is a current laboratory there discovering and researching how to terraform ocean planets into a nautiloid homeworld. We're not exactly sure how all this works, and nobody's even experimented with it. So feel free to look around, since, after all, most of you run the place. Do you look around, or do you go to the next area?
Might as well go to the next area.
All right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, the next one is the Arboreal Biome. This massive forest area is sectioned off into different districts, 4 of them specifically, where different planetoid species can live in 4 different types of forested area. Our first one is the Ancient Forest. This area is very old forested area, and the inhabitants are many creatures are primitive of species, so a lot of dinosaurs run around, and primitive creatures thereof. All sorts of different towering trees, as you can see. And the conductor points towards a hollow screen there showing trees towering many hundreds of stories in the air. And this is the short ones, he says, pointing towards some of these redwood-sized, just colossal trees. And these trees are just ancient in nature, like they've been growing here for hundreds of years. The undergrowth in this area is very little, as there's a lot of really tall trees, and the lower parts of the tree sections can be almost completely obscured from sunlight because the trees are just that big. And you can see there are some clearings and such in some parts of this ancient forest, but this ancient forest contains a lot of primitive species. You think if during your encounters you needed or happened to run into any primitive species that lived on ancient forest worlds, they would be very much at home here. And the next area is a bit dangerous. You move to the next biome on the forest area. This forest is large and very strangely shaped. Nothing within this forest looks normal by any means necessary. The high radiation present in this area creates an environment where the forest was actually found very perfectly from a distant planet we had discovered. Strange, huh? And now it's here. We've recreated it, or at least the Ring World has, in this particular arrangement. The different biomes and different creatures here all exist in a very high radiation area. There is, of course, a lab for studies and research can be done on creatures that live in the high radiation area. Dr. Tepesh frequents this lab, as it is an area that she has never seen before on any other world. This is a high radiation forest, or a mutant forest.
I'm sorry, did you just say Dr. Tepesh?
Yeah, he's our doctor.
History check, please.
Sure.
Can I attempt to shove Dalgar out the train?
13. Does that name seem familiar?
I'm in the crab mech. Good luck.
I've got a whole
Well, 13, you said? Rusty, you said 13? Oh, sorry, I didn't see your head nod.
Yes.
No, it does not seem familiar.
Okay.
You've heard of it before. You've heard humans say it, but it's on the tip of your tongue, but you can't figure it out.
Really sucks to not know that.
And the next area we rode into here is the High Magic Forest. This area has all sorts of different fey creatures living in it. In fact, some of them are direct descendants of creatures we believe come from an area called the Feywild. But all sorts of different interesting and creative creatures live here in this very high magical forest. Careful though, some of them are a bit mischievous.
Is this where we can test our weapons?
Probably not.
You
a good
most
idea.
certainly are welcome to do so if you wish to unleash complete hell on all the creatures here and make yourself a hostile place to live. Although I don't recommend it in this particular forest since a lot of the things here have magic.
Well, back here in the radiation zone, like, do you have a problem with, mutations and weird shit happening?
All the time. That's why Dr. Tempest frequents the area.
Why do you want to test your weapons here? We literally have an entire fucking universe that is basically nothing but dead rocks.
Yeah, but I don't trust the Fae.
Neither do we. That's why they're contained in this bio.
I feel like you trust them a lot less than you provoke them.
And the next forest we have is the Rocky Forest. These odd bulbous trees grow over top of large rocks. For some strange reason, the trees defy what we consider normal gravity and float connected to the rock, as if by tethers. This strange forested area we found on a strange and distant world and was created here.
Just bring the Hallelujah Mountains into this.
I was going to say it does really seem like the ring world is basically just taking slices of other planets and adding to a collection,
Yep.
like beads on a rosary.
That tracks. That tracks exactly what this I've gotten from this place.
Does it actually like cut chunks of planet, or does it just try and reproduce what it sees?
You're not entirely sure. In fact, no one really knows. Most of these biomes were created when the ring world was made. You would have to perhaps speak to someone who was here when it was created. All of you except Rusty know that Dr. Tapish was here when it was created.
I mean, cutting chunks out of planets wouldn't necessarily leave those chunks intact.
That is a true statement. Although these biomes, I should state, aren't like biomes in the sense where like, oh, it's a small area. No, each of these biomes are as big as a planet.
So like you took like the topographical projection of an actual planet.
It's like you took Earth and just flattened it out into the inside of a ring. And that's what you're looking at.
Yeah, I think that would be like, I think honestly, it would probably be easier to recreate it than to take a planet and peel it like a fucking like orange and put it on the inside of a planet.
I should also note Rusty has a particular interest in the Rocky Forest area because the lab here has a garage to modify mechs in, and it looks as though the Rocky Forest area is a mech testing area. And there's a lot of battle mechs could plug into the area on the outside, as well as fit into the garage for modification and alteration.
Huh. Well now, what stop number was this on the train?
This is the Rocky Forest biome.
All right.
And next we move to our ocean biome area.
This is the Apollo Creed biome. No.
And the next on our stop here in the ocean biome area is an ancient ocean. This ocean is filled with dinosaur class creatures of primitive species and primitive ocean life. All sorts of strange primitive ocean creatures here, as well as a lab to study different nautiloid homeworld conditions. You'll note that most of these ocean biomes have a lab to study different nautiloid homeworld conditions. For some strange reason, after the nautiloid homeworld was genocided, when we printed this ring world, everything was created and studied to make another nautiloid homeworld. We don't even know why it's here. That's great, isn't it?
Do they have working Poseidon solution here?
I'll take.
You're not entirely sure. Do you ask?
That's an actual question to the conductor.
The Nautiloid Research Lab was a couple stops back. Maybe we could go back that way if you're interested. Nobody set foot into it ever.
I'd like to convert one of the labs into an apartment complex in the Subnautica biome, please. Thank you.
You might find one. The next on our stop here is the Mutant Ocean. This is a highly radioactive ocean area where for some strange reason, even living creatures that can't breathe water are able to breathe some water here. We're not exactly sure how that works.
No, that doesn't count. That's Wolverine, and he's a cheater. Sorry.
Dr. Tepper spends a lot of time here studying the strangely highly radioactive area.
Oh, so this is another one of them spots that we're supposed to go investigate because the robots can't go in? Are we going to meet this Dr. Tepish?
You can most certainly meet Dr. Tepish if you wish. She's a couple of stops back in the medical lab.
Was it the overseer that needed the help, or was it her?
Oh, the overseer needs help.
He desperately needs help.
There's just like a beat. There's just like a beat there, like with the way that's said. That's like, do we mean psychological or just extra hands?
The hologram doesn't respond either way.
It just looks at you, and you know when you tell everyone you're fine, but you're really not.
With a chipper look on its face, it just kind of goes,
okay,
and stares your direction. The next area it moves to, this is the High Magic Ocean. This ocean is filled with highly magical areas. It is the most equivalent we have seen to the plane of water. All sorts of different strange and interesting creatures live here from the plane of water. And we've even seen creatures that are only in existence in the plane of water show up in this particular biome. We don't even know why they're here. That's great.
You know, above table, I'm getting a real yes man vibe from this guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's like. If you don't have an inspiration point, you have one now.
Nice.
Eisen, you get an inspiration point if you didn't have one earlier for your reference to Army of Darkness.
Perfect.
And the next biome we have here is for testing aquatic and underwater battle frame equipment. This is the rocky ocean biome. Not much lives here, but there's all sorts of empty space and giant rocks and water.
Like Rusty's hand slips a little bit on the controls, and the crab mech just kind of like bounces up and down in place.
And next on our stop is the fungal biomes. It stops at an area that, as you stop on the other side of the door to the train, where you see like the little like lounge area, you see some creature which you now know as a Sclethari, which looks to be an old female Sclethari, has converted into some sort of ancient magical hut of sorts. And there's all sorts of different like boiling cauldrons and weird potion accoutrements and things in the area, as well as the ancient the very old looking Sclethari is brooding much like a witch would over a boiling cauldron. Those of you who know that it's Deborah know that this is Deborah. And attending to this Sclethari that's over these boiling cauldrons is a lot of odd humanoid shaped mushroom people.
Oh shit, it's Bugga Yaga.
This huge ancient fungus forest has been here for not very long. After we introduced this fungal species from the ancient world of far off who knows where, it grew very quickly and rapidly here, thanks to the continued help of our strange Sclethari friend. She goes by the name of Deborah.
I have a finger.
Do you show
That's
him your
great.
finger?
Yes. Yes. She shows the finger.
I like to think by this time it's like pale white as bone.
Yeah.
Because it's been around for so long, it's just chitting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disturbing.
And the best part is you did this too. This is
That was session 0. Yeah.
Right.
That was
Yep.
session 0. We had I won that with a breath holding competition.
Mhm.
The prize was Deborah's finger.
You would survive longest if we had drowned here.
That's such a power move. Like the Sclethari do that shit all the time. You even
Yeah.
pulled that nonsense in Quantum Rose, man.
I made up some tradition where if Sclethari have survival challenges with each other, whoever wins gets a talent.
There was at one point where I think he like basically you as his character ripped off an arm like that crab. Like I give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He ripped
then,
off
like-
a leg to. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Tell the story.
Literally ripped off a leg, tossed it onto a teleporter pad just to fuck with the people coming through.
Yeah, so
That is a great way to make someone
forced-
second guess going through a teleporter.
he forced a Brundlefly moment. It was gruesome,
Awesome.
and I loved it so much.
That's awesome.
Power move from the bugs.
Right?
Meanwhile, Talurra's
Ugh.
just happy she won. That's all she cared about was just beating everyone else in the breath holding competition.
All right. And the next area that the train moves to, if nobody gets off, this is the mutant fungus forest. This bioluminescent forest is filled with radiation-resistant fungus. Dr. Tepper spends a lot of time here trying to figure out how the fungus exists in a very high radiation environment.
Is this for like actual like beta decay or alpha decay radiation, or is this some kind of arcana, like just randomized ion like scatter magic?
We don't know.
Ooh-wee.
There's highly dangerous levels of gamma radiation present in the area. Unlike normal gamma radiation, it doesn't seem to fly and zip around past anything in the area. Weird, right?
Point.
Like part of me is really concerned about the laws of physics in this room, and part of me really wants to figure out how y'all do it.
Not even I know. That's great, isn't it?
It's something. All right. That's something.
You do
Just
note that
if
there
you-
are a lot of labs here as well.
There sure are.
Listen, if you try to figure it out, just please don't break it.
Righto.
Like I'm
Not that I can do that. I'm a hologram and can't leave the train.
I'm low key picking up like flavors of Big Mountain here too.
All right. And the next area it moves to is the jungle area. This jungle area contains 3 particular biomes that are separated. One we'll stop at first is the ancient jungle. This is reminiscent of some ancient jungle from thousands of years present. The large insects and large creatures here are very dinosaur in nature. Careful, the spiders are bigger than you.
The crab is gonna like lift up a little bit and then like raise its forelegs in like a questioning gesture, like, hey, hey.
And you also know outside is a mosquito that is as big as you are. That is a medium-sized mosquito. That is just kind of like.
So at that point, it's like
a whole lot of no.
It's a mosca.
Yeah, this is a very ancient forest.
A no
The oxygen here is really high. That's how we suspect the bugs are really big.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Next we have stop here is the mutant jungle. This pristine jungle is filled with all sorts of exotic plants and very weird fruit. The high radiation in the area makes it nearly inhabitable to a lot of other creatures. For some strange reason, though, living plant matter seems to be quite present in the area in a near intelligent fashion. Dr. Tepper spends a lot of time here studying the strange and interesting fruit. One could
like that
spend a
Xenobloom
lifetime
stuff?
studying the odd fruit here.
Is this like that Xenobloom stuff they talk about? The
This
Psyworms come from?
particular place is very, very weird looking. None of the fruit or plants here look like it should. It is all very mutated beyond control. You can almost see the glow off of some of the bioluminescent things, maybe from the radiation, maybe not. But you do see that the radiation here is just like most of the high radiation areas beyond comprehensible large.
Fascinating. Wow. And like it's just it's looking around at the scale of this place, like it kind of brings back down the enormity of this crab tank. So like it's more like actually having a real spider in a rainforest. This is going to be fun.
Next, we have on our stop the bioluminescent jungle. This bioluminescent jungle, everything here glows. Isn't that great? Some of the things and creatures here have adapted to live with different bioluminescent forms. This is where a lot of the gene splicing technology came from Dr. Tepper's research. Anything bioluminescent you can find here.
But is any of it edible?
Quite a bit of it is.
Does it make you glow too?
Only if you have to use the restroom afterwards. And the next biome area we're moving off to is the swamp biomes. There's quite a large number of these. And he moves over to another area where you see 3 swamp biomes, and the largest possible biome here, which is the equivalent of nearly 3 Earths in size, is a mountain desert biome, where there is an entire Earth's worth of mountain and then 2 entire Earth's worth of desert.
Wow.
This mountain biome contains all sorts of strange, very large mountainous rocky creatures. And the desert biome next to it contains a very large and growing tribe of Thri-kreen that you saved and brought here. Well, most of you did.
I'm sorry. The what now?
Thri-kreen.
Thri-kreen.
Is that a common race in this version of the verse? Because I figured they would be competing with space with the Scathari.
They are here.
They're here, and you see the large, the holograph turns into one of the Thri-kreen looking creatures. They look a lot like this. They contain strange and interesting abilities which borderline on psychic. And this particular swamp we have here is a toxic swamp. This swamp is filled with all sorts of dangerous pools of acid and toxic gases. I'd be wary here. Many of the creatures here are quite dangerous indeed. And all of them are immune to acid.
Well, okay.
Isn't that great?
Actually, yes.
They must be pretty basic. There you go. There's your quackatrons.
There is a
I can just
bio
see
lab here
Jesse's face
that's
light up there.
there is a bio lab here that's used by Dr. Tepish to study many of the different creatures that live in this bio.
I was just thinking about, getting some hides and getting some acid-proof leathers.
That does seem like it would be useful, especially when we were on that one planet. With the phase beast, was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
the phase beast.
Yes.
Oh,
And the next swamp we're running into is a bioluminescent swamp. This swamp is quite glowy, as you can see, and mostly nighttime for some odd reason. Isn't that great?
I sense quite a disturbance here. Maybe we should get going.
This swamp is very dark and there's almost no daylight here at all. You're not sure if it's from some growth overhead or whatnot, but this swamp is basically like you'd imagine a swamp that's perpetually nighttime.
So, like, we're coming. This is a ring world. So, are we like just taking like a tram around the circumference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, as each stop happens, you see this picturesque scene of part of the biome, as if a little probe had flown around some brief part of it and then came back into the camp to the docking station. So you get a little glimpse around some of the area there. In the areas that are considered dark or nighttime, and then any of the areas that are bioluminescent that I've labeled are almost perpetually dark. These areas are, you see a night vision version of like what you're looking at in reality. So those of you who don't have dark vision can actually see what's going on.
So the rail line, is it like encased in a tube? Is it open to the air? Is it running through like a tunnel?
It's seemingly open to the air of the outside space, but it travels through a series of portals that take you to each of the entrance areas to the biomes.
Okay, so like the actual track itself is just like 500 feet long and just in portal
It
gates
comes
on
out
either
of
side?
a portal and goes to another portal.
How
And there's
funny.
like portals on either end and goes through to different portals around the biome.
That's bonkers, and I love it.
So I just
go
got
ahead.
hit with a major wave of Void Train, and I haven't even played the game yet.
You know, Void Train didn't exist when I wrote this, just for the reference. This was written like years before I actually had anyone say they wanted to play this campaign.
Love when that happens.
All right. And the next we have our last on the biome stop here is the Ancient Swamp. This ancient swamp has all sorts of strange and interesting properties. Strange creatures have been seen here, as well as what many people could be considered ghosts of the dead. And all sorts of different strange visions are seen by people who meditate here. Dr. Tepish attempted to build a lab here, but for some reason it keeps disappearing.
I'm sorry. Does it just get up and walk away, or does it?
Nope, it's just straight up gone.
Huh.
That's quite a psionic disturbance.
Did y'all
You
try and like
all,
set?
all of you who are psionic pick up some immediately powerful psychic vibes from this place.
Nope.
Not like a headache kind of powerful psychic vibes like you did from the DNA ship, but like there is definitely something here that is psychic.
Zora's just like, and I put a mansion there.
Not if it's going to keep pinging in the back of my head. I've already got one voice in there.
Zora just has a house that's what's his name from Tremors? You just have his house. It's like a bunker.
Oh, Bert.
Bird, yeah. You just have a bird house.
A bird
Okay.
house.
I have to admit that's not a bad idea.
But
You could
And
get
the-
penetration even with the elephant gun.
The train phases back around again towards the beginning of its track. Is there any area you wish to see again?
Well,
that gave us a good idea of what to expect here. But I think we're good for now.
Well, feel free to come back
But-
here. As owners of this particular ring world, you can travel to any biome anytime you want. Though I do recommend protection if you go to one of the ones that's dangerous.
Rusty, you seem to.
well, the Rocky Forest looked pretty nifty, but I thought we were told the overseer needed our help in the radioactive zones. So I reckon that's the one we got to start with.
I mean, they seem perfectly normal, like designed that way, right?
I don't
mean,
think
maybe
You don't
wanna
even
give
know
him
why
a-
they're here.
Maybe give him a call and see what it is in particular he needed now that we're down here.
I don't think anything's designed to be radioactive. Wait,
You see
never
one
mind.
of the overseer.
I scratch all
you
of
s-
that.
You see one of
You're
the
just like record
overseer
scratch.
drones waiting on the dock outside the train.
Cuts to Warzone with all these arcane warheads. Scratch all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing's designed to be radioactive. Every reactor on every ship.
Yeah.
all of any nuclear element.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Exactly.
The entire
They're
Fallout
naturally
universe turns and looks at you.
Yeah.
The sun turns.
The sound,
and looks at
the
you.
sound, the sound of it, the Fallout series turning to see you isn't like stone on stone, like it's beep, bleep.
Yeah.
Oh god, I was imagining like the
The
screaming
sun turns
sunrise.
to you. Am I a fucking joke to you?
My joke to you. All right. You are back in the main hangar area. You know that this train can take you to any of the other biomes present. If you wish, I can give you a quick rundown of the names of the biomes if you wanted to write them down for the next session.
That would be handy.
Yes.
Just keeping notes.
Yeah. Could you like put like a very short synopsis so we could pin it in the Discord of like
Yeah,
the
that
different
would be
zones?
helpful.
Or just
you're
just-
gonna
just
hear
what they're
how I
called.
paste
Yes.
all this in here.
Yeah, I mean,
No, just like
for
what
it.
they're called. So it's like the rocky forest biome, and all the other ones.
Okay. I will copy paste it into the Discord chat as far as just the names of the different biomes go.
Mhm.
The rocky forest is actually specifically made to be a battle frame testing facility. You don't see any living creatures there. The reason that there is a rocky forest there with these strange bulbous floating trees that seem to grow like with vines holding onto the rocks.
Are there a bunch of Sun Soul monks practicing there?
You do probably see some of the Thri-kreen that practice monastic practices practicing there, because it's a wide open space with lots of large rocks to kind of jump off of and stuff.
So just mucking around.
Yeah, but a lot of the people who attempt to meditate or are monastic of nature spend a great deal of time in the ancient swamp because it's the most potent area to meditate in. It is said that people who meditate there can have strange visions. But that's just what you know for sure. I will copy paste them all over to the Discord chat. And I think that after that marvelously large expedition of plot, that we're at a good point to stop, as it is well past when we normally stop.
Yeah, I was surprised how
Addition or
far you went.
exposition.
I appreciate the expedition.
Yes, we do.
Yes. So you'll get a brief cliff notes of the name of the different biomes of the ring world. If any of you wish to do something with them or explore more with them, I will let you know and you can tell me what you wish to do. We will have a bit of background time between now and the next session that you could do background things if you want to have background things happen, because we're kind of prepping for that epic moment, which hopefully we'll get to have next time everyone's here. So starting in no particular order, let's go with some plugs, and we will start with our new addition to the team currently, Rusty. Do you have any plugs you wish to give?
Well, right now, my own Dark Matter game is currently on broadcast hiatus, but we're still recording new episodes. We're starting the season 2 format, so I'm waiting on new materials for the opening and ending sequences. But you can find season 1 of Quest for the Quantum Rose on castbox.fm and youtube.com/backchan. It's a whole different kind of crazy than this delightful craziness, but we have a good time over there, saving the universe and whatnot. That's all the more Dark Matter stuff I've got, but I also on the other Saturday I'm also on Scotty's Ghost of Saltmarsh game, where I play Axel, the Pazandar. He's mostly a paladin, but he's also a ship captain, and he sounds like you. Is so whenever you watch it, then just think of him. And that's all I've got.
All right. Well, let's move on in no particular order over to Helix.
Hi. I have a game tomorrow over on Fractured Moon D&D here on Twitch at 12:30 p.m. EST, and it is a mask game. Our little group of heroes, or rather delinquents as they're called now, have last session basically been shackled with like new punitive rules. One of them got sued, and one of them got more or less kidnapped by their alien mentor figure. And that's where we left off. And everyone is basically staring at a spaceship while
And I got a new tattoo.
while they're told that not to interfere without like adult superhero express permission. Oh, and the alien in question, the alien superhero in question, spent the entire session as a little gecko because she's running away from her problems.
Oh.
Reject Xenos return to gecko.
Yes.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, then we will segue over to, in no particular order, Zora, do you have any plugs?
Nah.
Eisen, do you have any plugs?
Ass.
All right. Talurra.
So following Hera's game is my game is at I think it's 3:30 or I think it's 3:30 p.m. EST. I have Union Academy, my Lancer-based game where I'm hoping we'll be playing. I haven't heard from two of the players, but fingers crossed, I'm hoping we play, where it'll be the group's first day at school, at mech school. So that'll be interesting. That'll be fun to see what they do. So come check that out, same channel, Fracture Moon D&D.
And last but not least, of course, our host of this particular game and all games that are run on this particular channel is Scotty.
Oh, you don't get everybody else a title. But in any case, this is
Your
hosted,
name's on the channel, so we'll go with your name.
yeah, so this is hosted on my Twitch channel, Scotty Hood, Scotty with a Y_H00D. If you're not watching this live, you're watching this over on my YouTube channel that goes by the same name. This game is every 2 weeks. So the next game will be in 2 weeks, right? And then the next game on this channel, because we run a lot of D&D games, is this upcoming Wednesday. Is that the first? No, it's definitely not the first. The first is Friday.
29th.
September 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be continuing our Rime of the Frostmaiden series, where the group will totally not just destroy the shit out of everything they encounter up in Icewind Dale. So I believe the group is heading back into 10 Towns after exploring a Netherese tower that fell from a sky city 2,000 years ago. So if you want to check that out, I just caught up on all the VODs, and they're up on YouTube. So go check that out.
All right, and well, that is last but obviously not least of all. So we will see you here next time. And as always, see you around, Space Cowboy.
Stay rusty.
Bye.